Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Yes.
He needs a moment, Paul. He needs a moment where he gets a big hit and he can settle himself down a little bit and relax. Deep to left field. Marte back. He's on the track. He's at the wall. See ya! A two-run home run for McMahon. Oh, did he need that?
You want to play good, man. You want to play good for the men in the room with you. Like, it doesn't feel good letting your brothers down, especially the guys you grind with every single day. So, I've been sick and tired of it, honestly. That's not the first day I've done that, but like I said, humbling game, man. So all you can do is show up, work your hardest, try to figure it out, and go play the game.
Well, the Bronx was waiting for a spark, and Ryan McMahon delivered. His go-ahead home run sent the stadium in a frenzy, and it fueled the Yankees to a victory. But today is a quick turnaround, and the Yanks have a chance to win the series. Let's get you ready for the second of a three-game set between the Yankees and the Royals on a Saturday afternoon in the Bronx. Welcome, everybody, to the FanDuel Yankees pregame. Justin Shackle, Della Betances, Adam Ottavino with you. Yankees are going for 2 in a row against Kansas City this afternoon. And, Adam, we continue to see signs of progress with this Yankees lineup. Today, another opportunity to take another step forward against another left-handed starting pitcher. Let's get to your Hyundai opening comment.
Yeah, they have Noah Cameron today. I hearken back a little bit to what Ben Rice said yesterday and how he attacked that changeup from Michael Wacha. Needed to slow him down, not play his game, not get sped up by the fastball. I think it's the same with Cameron today. See the ball, hit the ball, keep it a simple approach, force him into the strike zone, and take advantage.
For me, is Will Warren limit the big inning. I feel like that big inning has gone away from him at times, and it hasn't allowed him to go deeper in the games. I feel like if he can just control the situation, make pitches, and when he gets a couple guys on, he'll be able to go deep in the game and hopefully win the series for the Yankees.
And we'll break down the starting pitching matchup a little bit later on. Right now, time to head out to the stadium where Meredith Marakovits is standing by with the Ford Clubhouse Report.
Thanks, Justin. Coming to you from center field here at Yankee Stadium. Wanted to give you a few lineup notes before things get underway here in the Bronx. With the lefty on the mound, it does look a little bit different. Let's go back to last night first, though. Ryan McMahon, 0 extra base hits this season until the 8th inning last night. He came through in a big way. His 2-run shot gave the Yankees the lead and the eventual win in that one. McMahon told me on the field after the game that he was in the cage almost all game taking swings, about 100 swings over the course of 5 or 6 innings, trying to get right at the plate. Whatever he did seemed to have worked, and it paid off for the Yankees in a big way. Now, with the lefty on the mound, interestingly enough, McMahon not in the lineup today. Prior to yesterday's game, Aaron Boone said it would most likely be Rosario with the lefties. He's more favorable of a matchup, so I asked Aaron Boone if he was at all tempted because McMahon had such a big night, and he said no, he was sticking with the plan, so McMahon will be available off the bench. Also noteworthy, no Trent Grisham. So Rosario is leading off. You're going to see Randall Grichuk in left field. No Austin Wells today, day game after a night game. So JC Escarra is behind the plate. Ben Rice is indeed in the lineup. He's been one of the most consistent hitters for the Yankees all season long. Aaron Boone talked about having to make the decision between he and Paul Goldschmidt. Ideally, he'd be able to get them both in there at the same time, but unfortunately, that is not the way it is with Ben Rice playing first base. So Goldschmidt, another guy that's an option and available off the bench. Will Warren gets the ball this afternoon, and when you look at his last start, Justin, the first 3 innings, he pretty much cruised. Then in that 4th inning, there was an error behind him, and things kind of unraveled quickly. They'd like to see Warren try to get a little bit deeper in this one. We'll send it back to you for now. A little bit of a wind tunnel out here, Justin. I don't know if you can tell.
Everything looking great, Meredith. And actually just mentioned, here's the Yankees lineup brought to you by Toyota. Ben Rice homered in last night's game. He gets the start against the left-hander on the mound. And Rice is hitting .286 with an .833 OPS against southpaws so far this season. Aaron Boone said it earlier this morning. Look, in a perfect world, you'd have Ben Rice and Paul Goldschmidt in the lineup all together. But it's not in the case right now. You still have to feel pretty good sending Ben Rice out to first base with the way he started this season.
I love the idea of having Rice out there. I mean, you have to learn how to, you have to face lefty and learn how to hit against them. He's been their Yankees' best hitter up top with Aaron Judge, so I love the idea of putting him there. He has to be able to do this because when it comes playoff time and you have to face a lefty, you have to be ready.
He's earned this opportunity. The way he played last year versus lefties, the way he's come out this year. Obviously, Paul Goldschmidt's a guy who has huge pedigree, potentially a Hall of Famer when it's all said and done. But right now, Ben Rice is the best option no matter who's on the mound. So he's going to be in there every day, and I think that's ultimately what's going to really drive run scoring in this lineup in addition to Judge is Ben Rice.
So Rice will be batting 5th today, but also you take a look, Ahmed Rosario leading off, second time that's happened this season. You have Randall Grichuk back in there. This is another chance as the Yankees face a bunch of lefty starters for some of these righty platoon batters to make their mark.
Yeah, Booney puts, Rosie and Grichuk in the lineup today. It's strategic. These guys are great matchups versus Cameron. They should be able to take advantage. If they have good games today, it only lengthens out the Yankees' run-scoring opportunities. So for me, those two are keys for today's game specifically, yes.
So Noah Cameron on the mound here for the Royals, and he's coming off a fantastic rookie season. He's going to be facing the Yankees here. What kind of pitcher is Noah Cameron today?
For me, obviously, Noah Cameron's a guy that likes to pitch, has a great mix of his pitches with fastball, cutter, slider, curveball. He does a great job of trying to keep guys off balance. For me, he's kind of like Tom Glavine in a way, right? Like he tries to nibble a little bit, and then he knows how to pitch backwards, so he'll throw his off speed behind count. So the guys just got to stay patient and take advantage when they get their chances.
Yeah, I mentioned it a little bit at the top of the show. He wants to rope you into his game. He wants to get you thinking. He wants to get you guessing, cheating on one pitch or another pitch, and then he can kind of pick you apart. I think you just have to reject that altogether, realize he doesn't have enough velocity to beat us. Let's just sit back, stay back, and we'll be ready for everything once it's over the plate.
All right, here all season long on Yes, we want to invite you viewers to show us the different ways you support the Bronx Bombers. Use the QR code on screen with the hashtag Toyota Pinstripe Pride and post pictures to social media that reflect your love for the Yankees. We might spotlight you in a future game. Pinstripe Pride is brought to you by Toyota, the official hybrid vehicles of the Yankees. Just getting started on the FanDuel Yankees pregame. After the break, we're going to head back out to the stadium where Meredith caught up with Garrett Cole, who made his first rehab start last night. Catch it right here on Yes and the Gotham Sports app.
The Yankees pregame show on Yes is presented by FanDuel. Call your shot on FanDuel every day with Daily Dinger. Make a free pick for a chance at a profit boost the next day. The Yankees pregame show on Yes is brought to you in part by your local Hyundai dealers. There's never been a better time to test drive that Hyundai you've always wanted. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today.
I'm News 12 meteorologist Alex Calamia with your game day forecast, and it's shaping up to be a nice one and not quite as hot as the past few days. We have temperatures mostly in the mid-60s for the entire game, lower 60s as we move into the 7th inning and beyond. Mostly sunny skies, light southeast breeze at about 10 miles per hour. Stay tuned to us in many different ways here at News 12, on air and online.
Alex, thanks so much. We welcome you back to the FanDuel Yankees pregame. Last night, Garrett Cole made his first rehab start with the AA Somerset Patriots, throwing 44 pitches in 4 1/3 innings. Let's go back out to the stadium for our Morgan & Morgan injury report, where Meredith Marakovitz spoke with Cole.
Thanks, Justin. Garrett, fresh off your first rehab start, what was the adrenaline like yesterday?
It was up a little bit. It was fun. Somerset Patriot fans came out and cheered me on. It was a nice environment.
How different is it actually getting out there against competition as opposed to just one of those live sessions?
Yeah, it's just got a different edge to it, a different feel. I mean, you can work on things, and if they go well, that's great. If they don't, you have to get out of the inning somehow, so there's always that little extra edge.
All reports are that it did indeed go well. Just what do you take away from that first start?
I mean, I feel good today. I threw a lot of strikes, and my stuff looked pretty good.
Your fastball was about 95, 96. How encouraged does that leave you?
Pretty encouraged, yeah. I mean, within a few ticks of where it usually operates. So it's a good sign.
In your mind, have you checked all the boxes that you need to check, or is it just kind of getting yourself ready now?
I mean, I think getting myself ready is probably the largest box. So yes and no.
What needs to happen next for you to, I mean, obviously pitch count part of it, but what do you need to really accomplish so you know that you're ready to get back up here to this level?
Just continue to hone in my pitches and hone in my routine and get in the flow of recovering and taking the ball, recovering and taking the ball.
Speaking of recovery, how are you feeling today?
I feel good.
What is different about the way you prepare, what you do after starts, just to make sure that your arm remains intact and remains healthy?
You know, it can be a little different any given week. I think I just try to kind of stay curious about it and listen to my body.
Do you have an amount in your mind of how many starts you want to make before getting back up here?
No, ma'am.
Do you have a date? I have a feeling you have a date somewhat circled, but you are not going to tell us, Garrett.
No, I really don't have a date. When I'm in the regular season and I'm competing, I'm not looking any farther ahead than who my next opponent is and what I got to do today to prepare for that next opponent. So, you know, that's kind of the stage that I'm in right now, and why I said about getting into the routine and finding the process, that's what I'm trying to execute. So not looking too far ahead or circling any date is important, and just executing what I have to do today.
Is that difficult, though, especially since you've been around quite a bit now?
I mean, I got to get back into the swing of things. I haven't done it in 18 months or something like that, but it is familiar, and it is something that I enjoy. So, you know, I don't think it's any more difficult. It's part of my job.
What's been the most difficult thing about this rehab process so far?
Probably the length of it all. At this point, looking back, maybe if you asked me 10 months ago, I would have said something different. But right now, I'm in a really good spot, and I'm enjoying where I'm at.
How would you describe how your arm feels now as opposed to prior to the injury?
It feels pretty good. I mean, pretty much the same. A little bit more free, and it's definitely more free in the mind.
Now, I saw you down in the cage. Paul Goldschmidt's son is down there. You were giving him some pointers. What were you telling him how to hit?
I was asking Ryan how he hit that homer last night. Jake was along for the ride, but it was just so happy to see Ryan come through. I mean, it's so much hard work. He really wears it, even though he's, you know, even keel and never takes his defense, or his offense rather, onto his defense. And it was just so great to see him come through and get a big hit. We're very happy for him.
How much do you guys feel that when a teammate's going through it like that?
I was screaming in the car. Yeah, I was screaming in the car on the way home.
I love it. Number one Yankees fan, Garrett Cole. Garrett, thanks for the time. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks, Meredith.
Send it back to you.
Thank you, Meredith. Time for another break on the FanDuel Yankees pregame. Up next, we're going to break down what to expect from Will Warren ahead of his start today. Stick with us on Yes and the Gotham Sports app.
The Yankees pregame show on Yes is brought to you in part by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com.
Well, the key matchup brought to you by Montefiore Einstein, the official hospital of the New York Yankees. Will Warren and Noah Cameron make up today's starting pitching matchup. Similar career paths, both 26 years of age. Both went in the 2021 draft. Warren in the 8th round to the Yanks. Cameron went in the 7th round from the Royals. And Cameron finished among the top 5 in the Rookie of the Year voting last year. Will Warren led all rookies with 33 starts in 2025. And you go back to Will's last start on Monday against the Angels. You know, he kind of zipped through the first 3 innings, then came off the rails a little bit in the 4th. But from what we've seen that's worked with Will Warren so far, you notice his fastball combo, 4-seamer, sinker, it's making up about 2/3 of his pitch usage. Why does that combo work so well for him right now?
For me, he just gets up on the 4-seam gets up on the hitters pretty good. He has like great extension. So the guys, even though it's like 94, 95, guys see it at like 97, 98. So I think that 4-seam, the sinker, has a ton of movement, and then he could pitch with the sweeper right off of that. So he has tremendous pitches. For me, he probably has some of the best stuff in the big leagues. just at times that one inning gets away from him.
Yeah, he's got great stuff. It's funny because when you first look at his pitch profile, you see the huge movement on those breaking balls, but in reality, he's dominated with fastballs. You know, the four-seam really plays up in the zone, and he's learned to freeze those guys on those two-seamers. That's such a big unlock, you know, something that I did a lot in my career. It's kind of addicting once you start doing it, and I think he's well on his way to locking up another few guys today.
Otto, for me, like going to that front hips sinker, kind of like Greg Maddux, what was your thought process when you try to use that?
I think it's tricky at first because it feels like a tough angle, but if you create yourself a little better angle, what I used to do is keep my foot open a little bit so my energy could be directed right towards that left-handed batter, and then just trusting it, trusting that pitch. You're not going to hit him. It's going to come back to the plate. If you don't make it, it'll probably be a ball anyway. It's not like you're going to leave it down the middle. And he's gotten really good at trusting it. You know, you see here, I think he's second since 2025 began in the big leagues at freezing guys, you know, called third strikes behind Sonny Gray, so it's become a huge weapon for him. And like I said, it's a little bit addicting. Once you do it once, you kind of look for him all over the place after that.
What's the MO for Warren in the hitter's eyes when they're getting befuddled like that? You mentioned the called strikeouts that he leads the league with since the start of last season. When you develop a reputation, obviously the scouting report grows on you. In a hitter's eyes, what does that say about Will Warren?
Well, to be honest with you, most of the time when he executes that pitch, the hitters just kind of shrug and they just walk back to the dugout because they're taught not to chase, you know, pitches outside of the strike zone. So when that ball comes out as a ball out of the hand, you know, they're taught to let that one go. And then it just zips back to the corner and they say, okay, he executed on me and I'll try again next time. So that's why it's such a good pitch and a little bit of a cheat code.
Dylan, you hit it at the top of our pregame. I mean, it was so imperative for Cam Schlittler to come out last night and give the Yankees some length. But for Warren in a vacuum here, like we talked about, 3 innings last time looked great, but then some things happen on the field, an error, maybe a botched double play attempt against the Angels, and he ends up throwing a lot of pitches, doesn't make it out of the fourth. What does he need to do to kind of put it all together this afternoon?
Yeah, for me, he has a ton of swing and miss with the way his ball moves. So he just, when he gets in that situation, he got to go to, what can I do to get this guy out? Pitch to contact at times. As a reliever, we come in that situation, we can't give up many runs. But as a starter, sometimes it's okay to give up one and just try to be as effective as you can because that allows you to go deeper in the game. And the deeper you go in the game, the more money you'll make down the road.
And you cover relievers here, and we were talking about it last night. You saw Hedrick, Duvall, Bednar. Hedrick's been used 3 out of the last 4 days. So if Warren can provide 5+ here, Adam, how's the bullpen looking in your eyes this afternoon?
Yeah, it's not a full deck today, but they should have Bednar if it's a safe situation in the 9th. Duvall should be available. Tim Hill should play a big role today. I'm not sure about Cruz. So they have guys, but that's why it is important for him to get 5 or 6 because it's not 5 or 6 guys available. It's more like 3 or 4 today.
All right, here is a look at the Royals lineup that Warren's going to be facing. It's brought to you by Toyota. The same top 3 of the order for Kansas City. Vinny Pasquantino's homered in back-to-back games. His 123 RBI since 2025. It ranks 3rd in the American League, only trailing Cal Raleigh and Aaron Judge. Time for one last break here on the FanDuel Yankees pregame. Still to come, we will get the guys' keys to the game as the Yankees prepare to take on the Royals in the Bronx. That is coming up next on Yes and the Gotham Sports app.
It's time for the pregame odds segment presented by FanDuel. For a same-game parlay, let's start with Aaron Judge going deep, and let's have Bellinger, Rice, and Bobby Witt Jr. to each record a hit. Those odds are set at plus 733. Hey Yankees fans, FanDuel is inviting you to call your shot with Daily Dinger. Make your free pick on who's hitting a home run in their game, and if you're right, you'll get a profit boost the next day. Get your free pick in now on FanDuel before today's action starts.
We're cooking up something special with Hexclad, the Yankees' best win percentage against any opponent, minimum 20 games, and including the postseason. It is the Royals. They can move to 20-2 in the last 22 series against Kansas City with a win this afternoon. So you see the overall record at 53-6. The Yankees have dominated Kansas City in recent seasons. We're moving closer to first pitch between the Yanks and the Royals. Time to get Adam Andelin's keys to the game. Adam, we're going to start with you.
Will Warren go deep in this ball game? He's been getting close to putting together that outing that he wants. This is a team he should be able to attack, go right at these guys, fill up the strike zone, put pressure on them, and go deep in this ball game, lead the Yankees to a nice early lead and the victory.
For me, Noah Cameron at times creates traffic and manages a way to get out of it. You got to take advantage when you get those opportunities, and hopefully the Yankees can win Game 2 of the series.
All right, we will see what the Yankees can provide after Ryan McMahon's heroics last night. That's going to do it for us on the FanDuel Yankees pregame. The three of us that you see here, we will see you back after the final out for the postgame. Up next, it'll be Michael Kay and Paul O'Neill with the call, with Meredith Marakovitz reporting. Game 2 between the Yankees and the Royals coming up next from Yankee Stadium. Enjoy it right here on Yes and the Gotham Sports app.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Yes.
Ryan McMahon needed a moment, struggling in the early going, and he got that moment in the 8th inning. After coming in for defense, he finally gets an at-bat, goes the other way for a big home run that gave the Yankees the lead, brought smiles to the team, and gave the team a victory as well. Can they double up? Well, we'll see as it is time for baseball. As the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the Yankees against the Royals in the middle game of a 3-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball along with Paul O'Neill. I'm Michael Kay. So Ryan McMahon, 2-run home run, made it 4-2. The other 2 runs the Yankees got came off the bat of Ben Rice, and that is nothing different than what's happening since the beginning of the season. He's been on fire.
Well, I think he caught the league's attention last year. 26 home runs. He's gotten bigger. He's gotten stronger. All of a sudden, yeah, now he's hitting lefties. That's another home run off the lefty. Back-to-back last 2 homers. All of a sudden, Ben Rice is showing up on the leaderboard in all the offensive categories, kind of under the radar with Aaron Judge in the roster.
Well, I'll show you the leaderboard. Cooking up something special with Hexclad. Join the hybrid revolution at hexclad.com. In the American League, 3rd in average. Tied for 4th in home runs, tied for 6th in ribbies, and the only guy who slugs better than him is the Astros' Yordan Alvarez, and that's just by a little. He's putting together a great start to the season, is Ben Rice. Well, Aaron Boone had a decision to make. Do I play the hot hand? Do I have Ryan McMahon in the lineup against a lefty or Ahmed Rosario? He went with Rosario. He tells Meredith Marakovitz why next on Yes.
Welcome back to the Bronx for Yankees baseball on Yes, as the Yankees try to continue their winning ways from last night. Game 2 of the 3-game series with the Kansas City Royals is set to get underway in just a couple of minutes. Hey everyone, I'm Meredith Marakovitz. Ryan McMahon did not manage an extra base hit all season long, but that all changed in the 8th inning last night. It was his 2-run shot that gave the Yankees the lead and the eventual win. He told me on the field after the game, even though he didn't start that game, he had been in the cage for about 5 or 6 innings, taking swings all game long. It seemed to have worked and paid off for the Yankees in a big way. Now, Ryan McMahon is not in the lineup today with a lefty on the mound. It's going to be Ahmed Rosario in there at third base. I asked Aaron Boone if there was any consideration to penciling McMahon in after his big night.
No. Rosie's earning these opportunities and, love him in these matchups. So, No, not today.
So Rosario in there. He's leading off and playing third base. Also noteworthy, Cody Bellinger is in center. So no Trent Grisham in the starting lineup. Randall Grichuk is in left field, and J.C. Escarra is behind the plate. Just a day game after a night game for Austin Wells. All those guys available off the bench. Plenty more to come here on the Yes Network. When we get back, Will Warren will get the ball, looking for the second win of this series right here on Yes.
Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by FanDuel. Call your shot on FanDuel every day with Daily Dinger. Make a free pick for a chance at a profit boost the next day. By Tunnel to Towers. Donate $11 a month and amplify your impact with a car or land donation. Go to T2T.org. And by Hyundai. Test drive a new Hyundai today only at your local Hyundai dealer.
See that?
Yep. David Cohn, our colleague, pitched for both.
We've got to get him in the booth. If he's not in the booth, we'll just have a picture of him.
That's right. That's nice. Yankees take the field. We'll take a look at the Royals starting lineup. Got Will Warren's going to face Garcia, Witt, and Pasquantino at the top of the order. Caglione, Jensen, and Massey in the middle. And then it's Collins, Thomas, and Isbell. That's the bottom third. And the starter for the Yankees is Will Warren. This will be his fifth start. He's 1-0 with a 2.45 ERA, 20 strikeouts in 18 and a third innings. So let's check out the Nissan pitcher scouting report.
Well, what happened? It was a weird game his last time out. He just was cruising, went through the first 3 innings, and all of a sudden couldn't get out of the fourth. There was a big error, but just totally lost it. So hopefully you bounce back from that and not left out. Again, the lineup stacked with lefties, 6 in all. Because of his splits last year, left-handers 266. This year, 243. So he is making some adjustment and getting better. And backward Ks, since last year, 67 strikeouts looking, which leads the American League.
Let's take a look at the Yankee defense. Grichuk, Bellinger, and Judge left to right in the outfield. Rosario, Caballero, Chisholm, and Rice. That's third to first. Escarra gets stuck behind the plate. Day game after night game. Giancarlo Stanton, the DH, Will Warren on the mound. Defense brought to you by your local Tri-State Genesis retailers. It's a beautiful day. A little bit of a chill in the air, so it's getting a little cooler. And it's supposed to be very cold next week, but the Yankees will be on the road. Garcia's ready. Warren's ready. And let's do it here in the Bronx. Fly ball down the left field line. Giving chases Grichuk. He's not going to get there. He's going to play it on a hop. And Garcia, running hard out of the box, gets himself a double on the first pitch.
Well, we talked about Garcia and how they signed him up. They got big plans for him to be a part of the future here in Kansas City. He came out of the dugout swinging. First pitch, right down the line, leadoff double.
Well, the Royals have a 5-game losing streak, and they've lost 8 of their last 10. And in 12 of their games, they're 7-13, so 12 out of 20 games, they've scored 2 runs or fewer. And that's the most such games in the majors. So their offense has really, really labored.
Yeah, their offense second worst in the major leagues, just behind the Cincinnati Reds, who score 3.3 runs. Kansas City 3.5. Not real good.
Oh, 0-2 on Bobby Witt. Chisholm trying to chase back Garcia at second base. Foul back. Home plate umpire is Tyler Jones. Umpire scouting report brought to you by your local Kia dealers. He's considered neutral. First game this season behind the plate. 6th career game behind home plate, just in his second big league season.
I moved a piece of paper. We're already fighting up here, Michael.
Unbelievable.
I'm glad it was a short read because you could memorize it by then.
1-2 on Witt. Yankees won last night 4-2. Have one more game on the homestand tomorrow. Monday's an off day, and then a 9-game road trip against the Red Sox, the Astros, and the Rangers. Swing and a miss. Chased a four-seamer out of the zone. Witt down on strikes.
Well, you can't explain it, but, he's not really overpowering, but he gets a ton of swing and misses with this fastball. All has to do with the spin rate and the late life on the fastball. Big strikeout there. Bobby Witt off the plate. Right under it.
Here's Pasquantino with a home run yesterday. He had gone 18 games without hitting a home run. And this is a guy who had 113 RBIs last year.
Yeah, we went over it last night, Michael. I mean, if their first four guys, Sal Perez day off today, but their first four guys are the base of their offense, and all of them are basically struggling. So they're just having terrible time scoring runs.
Pickoff on. Diving back Garcia. Here's his home run from last night, Paul.
Yeah, ahead in the count. You just cannot miss late in the game, down and into a lefty. The ball looked like he tried to throw a two-seamer, but he's so accustomed to throwing that cutter that he could not get the ball away.
Two and one on Pasquantino. .28 years old, fifth big league season, grew up a Yankee fan. Favorite player was Derek Jeter. So it's a strike, and it's quickly challenged by Pasquantino.
The pitch is called a strike. The batter is
ABS powered by T-Mobile. Wow.
The pitch is a ball. Kansas City has two challenges remaining.
I can't even tell the difference of a hit there, even on the big screen.
Goodness gracious.
What's that, 1/100th of an inch or 1/10 of an inch there?
Looks even less than that. So instead of 2-2, it's 3-1. Counts definitely in his favor. It's amazing that he challenged it with such certitude. And, it was an eyelash.
Well, if you're going to challenge, I guess you got to play the game. I saw it. I know it's a ball. And then, when you see how close it was, it's like, wow.
Strike three.
Wow. Just do not understand it from here. How can you take this pitch? But that's what, 68 or 69 in the past 2 years lead baseball. It's just the life of that. You think it's low, and it just holds its plane and hits the very bottom of the strike zone.
And he didn't challenge that one. Here's Caglione. One and 0. The 68 called strikeout. I mean, that means his ball must move a lot.
Yeah, it just holds its plane low, kind of takes off high. Much better attempt there. Garcia only one stolen base on the year, but they just want to make sure that he's awake out there. It's early.
Caglione, 6th overall pick in the first round in 2024 out of the University of Florida, 23 years old, from Tampa. Two and 0. He is a first baseman by trade, but spent most of his rookie season in right, and he's in right today. They've got Pasquantino at first base. 2-0. Center field and deep. Bellinger has room, puts it away, and that'll do it. So Warren pitches around the leadoff double, and the Yankees are coming to bat.
Well, the Royals waste a leadoff double. Now it's the Yankees' turn against the young left-hander, Noah Cameron. Rosario, Judge, and Bellinger, that's the top of the order. Stanton, the red-hot Rice, and Randall Grichuk, the middle. On the bottom third, Chisholm, Caballero, and catching, the batting nine, J.C. Estrada. Noah Cameron, this will be his fourth start, 1-0 with a 3.94 ERA. Let's check out the Nissan pitcher scouting report.
Well, he had a rookie breakout last season, really good. A 2.99 ERA in 24 starts. He was fourth in Rookie of the Year voting last year. And left on left, he has been absolutely dominant against lefty hitters in his career. 170 career against lefties. And a bad memory, one lifetime start against the Yankees. He gave up a career 6 earned runs. That was a career high, and including an Aaron Judge home run.
So Pasquantino talks to the home plate umpire, now talks to the starter. Not quite sure what's going on. Looks like they're holding the game up for a moment.
Bottom of the first here.
Latraro's out there arguing.
It's bottom of the first. Give me that mad already.
Manager Matt Cortaro. We got a say-in. Not quite sure what Cortaro was arguing about. Nothing seemed unusual in the top of the inning. So Rosario will lead it off. All things settled down. 26-year-old lefty kicks and deals. Grounded third base, Garcia. 1 pitch, 1 out. Check out the Royals defense, brought to you by your local Tri-State Genesis retailers, and we'll keep a close eye on Isbell. He is our Car Shield defensive player profile. He is really good in center. 33 outs above average since 2023. That's 5th among major league outfielders.
You know, Cortaro ran down in the tunnel. They didn't throw him out, did they?
I didn't see he was thrown out, but he might have been. Well, the bench coach is Paul Hoover. You would assume he would take over the reins if Cortaro is thrown out. 3-0 on Judge. Judge had a double against Walker in the first inning yesterday. 4-pitch walk. The captain reaches first. Let's see. This is them arguing. That was, there he is. But the arm wave got him thrown out. There's Bellinger. He has a 6-game hitting streak, but he's gone 11 games without a home run. So 1 home run and 6 ribbies on the year. Cameron's season last year earned him 4th place in the American League Rookie of the Year voting. Nick Kurtz won, then Jacob Wilson, Roman Anthony, and Noah Cameron. Now, 2 starts ago in Cleveland, it was 33 degrees. 2-1. Grounded to second. There's one on the first, not in time.
on, Michael. It's 33 degrees.
33 degrees, and he's walking around barefoot on the field before the game.
Grounding himself?
He said he wanted to get a true feel for the conditions. Then he went out and threw 5 2/3 innings of one-run ball. Now, that doesn't surprise you when it's a left-handed pitcher. If a righty did that, you go, huh? I've always thought that in another life, David Cohn was left-handed.
He just switched it.
He's got that left-handed mindset. Stanton won for his last 16 with 9 strikeouts. You can see he's a little off balance at the plate. Count 2-0. Now I'm wondering, the only thing that in looking at the top of first, maybe he thought the pickoff attempt was a balk?
Yeah. I mean, that's really the only thing that happened in the first inning that you would argue at the second base. But the pickoff, it wasn't even successful.
Right. Well, if it was a balk, he would have moved the third,
Yeah.
so maybe it changes. And they had 2 attempts. The second one was better than the first.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's the pickoff. Maybe he's saying he didn't come to a full stop. He did go quickly there.
Yeah.
Popped up, way up there, right side. And Pasquantino makes the play. Yankee strand 1 will go to the 2nd. Well, there's Paul Hoover, the bench coach, so he will take over the managing duties after Quattraro was thrown out. Hey, play FanDuel's a daily dingo for free every day for a chance at a profit boost if your selected player hits a home run. Here are the featured home run odds for today's players. Ben Rice plus 420, J.C. Escara plus 950. And there's a strike to Jensen.
Escara goes deep. Somebody's going to be happy. Plus 950.
950. So we're looking at the rule about coming to a complete stop. Rule 5.07A2. And there's a challenge right now.
The pitch is called a strike. The batter is challenging.
So Jensen is going to challenge this one. Powered by T-Mobile.
The pitch is a ball. Kansas City has 2 challenges remaining.
We're pretty good at this. Anyway, the rule says the pitcher following his stretch must hold the ball in both hands in front of his body and come to a complete stop. This must be enforced. Umpires should watch this closely. Pitchers are constantly attempting to beat the rule in their efforts to hold runners on base, and in cases where the pitcher fails to make a complete stop called for in the rules, the umpire should immediately call a balk.
Yeah, that's. I see what he's talking about. It's borderline because a pause or a complete whatever. There was a lot of movement. He started to spin before really there was a lot of anything to stop it.
Well, the second base umpire, Nestor Ceja, did not see it that way. Swing and a miss. Jensen down on strikes. Well, this is the pitch after the pickoff. And he's hearing it from the Royals bench, and you can see he's pointing that way. Well, you must have great hearing to hear the Royals bench from out there.
Yeah, umpires, I think they got hearing aids. Everything you say over there, they seem to, if you're chirping.
Michael Massey takes a strike from Warren. 1-2. Nice play there by Caballero to get Massey.
Again, he's playing up the middle, but he goes all the way on the other side of second base. Makes this play look easy. That's a lot of range from Caballero.
And a good throw. There's Isaac Collins. He missed the last 3 games after he bruised his right knee on the fence while chasing a foul ball in Detroit. He was available yesterday off the bench, but today getting to start at the DH. The Royals got him from the Brewers in a December trade. Collins and Nick Mears for Angel Zerpa. And he was 4th in the National League Rookie of the Year voting last year. Drake Baldwin, Cade Horton, Caleb Durbin, and Isaac Collins. Close. Now you've heard, Paul, they're in the minors, they're like experimenting with the check swing replay, and that the foul lines would be the cutoff point. To me, that's a full swing. If your bat goes up to the foul line,
yeah, you can hit a double.
Yeah. 2-2. Swing and a miss. That's a strong inning for Will Warren. He has 4 strikeouts in 2 innings. We'll go to the bottom of the second. It's time for Pinstripe Pride, brought to you by Toyota, the official hybrid vehicles of the Yankees. And today's picture is of Delisa, who was here at the stadium for her first game in 3 years. Come on, Delisa, you have to be here more than that. Now you have your picture on Yes. Show up again. Use the hashtag Toyota Pinstripe Pride. Mention Yes in pictures that you post to social media to reflect your love for the Bronx Bombers. We might spotlight you in a future game. Here's red hot Ben Rice. 1-0. Rice starting against a lefty who's tough on lefties. Same side, really tough. And Boone has said there's no platoon at first base. He has started Goldschmidt against some lefties at first base, but obviously he's got to get Goldschmidt in some games in order for him to be an effective pinch hitter, but he's starting Rice against a tough lefty on lefty.
And Michael, he was asked about that earlier today, and he said, ideally in a perfect world, I would like both of them to be out there at the same time. But you noted Rice, one of the Yankees' most consistent hitters so far this season, unless Giancarlo Stanton is DHing, which could potentially happen in the next couple of days. It is either or when it comes to first base. And the way Ben Rice has been hitting the ball, 6 home runs, 16 RBIs. He's first in hard hit percentage and third in average exit velocity. They want to make sure his bat remains in the lineup. Michael, the other option would be to have him behind the plate, but Aaron Boone said the other day they still don't feel as though he is ready to catch. They want him to concentrate at first base and continue to get it done in the batter's box.
The 0-1. It's interesting. Tomorrow, Royals starting a lefty. And if they stay in their rotation order, the first 2 games in Boston are also left-handed starters for the Red Sox.
You know,
strike 3, Grichuk down looking.
There were times that, you would face 5, 6 lefties in a row. They would stack the lineup. And it really kind of messes with your mechanics a little bit. Because as a lefty, you work so much on keeping that front shoulder closed that if you time and time again, then all of a sudden you're closing too much. And then you start jamming yourself against a righty. So best thing is to have a lefty at bat, righty at bat, just keep it, back and forth.
So Jazz tried the drag bunt and missed. Count 0-1.
A good pitch to bunt. Up in his eyes. Just missed it.
Well, McMahon finally got off the schneid with that big home run. And Jazz Chisholm, hitting 174, is yet to put a ball on the seats. Ground ball, first base. And Pasquantino beats him to the bag. Yankees go down 1-2-3, and we'll go to the third. Well, MLB Plus is new for 2026. Stream MLB Network 24/7 and select out-of-market games every week. Plus, live radio broadcast of every game, Game Day 3D, Big Inning, and minor league action. Visit MLB.com/MLB Plus to subscribe today. Lane Thomas will lead off. Will Warren just misses outside. 1-0. 4 strikeouts for Warren in 2 innings.
All of a sudden, Lane Thomas steps to the plate. 5 consecutive, the way this lineup is configured, 5 consecutive left-handed hitters.
Fly ball center field, Bellinger. One down. Here's Kyle Isbell. One for his last 19. One and 0. Right back to Warren. He steadies. 2 down. No, obviously Cam Slitler gets the love and he's earned it. But very quietly, Will Warren's become a quite dependable starter. All those starts he made last year, he wasn't even supposed to be in the big leagues, but injuries dictated that. And he took the ball every 5 days, never missed a start, and had a really representative rookie year. I think he looks even better this year.
Well, I mean, we were talking in the pregame about his last start. He was just like this, first 3 innings, and all of a sudden there was an error and some base runners, and he just kind of lost it. But if you think about what has happened, there was a competition. He stepped ahead of Heel. Heel ended up, going to AAA to start the season. So Aaron Boone, Matt Blake, a lot of confidence in what Warren's doing.
And the Yankees are going to have very tough decisions with which starter's going to go to the bullpen when Cole and Rodon get back. Well, he's making it tough on them. Warren with his 5th strikeout.
And we're back, and you looked at Garcia's last at bat. Another thing, Michael, that I've noticed with the challenging system. Now watch his reaction. Throws his helmet down, doesn't even get a second look from the umpire. Because of the challenging system, the umpires don't think that you're questioning the call. In the old days, you could be thrown out for that. And that's another thing that I like about it. I mean, he's mad because he took a strike. In the old days, you throw your helmet down, the umpire thinks you're mad at them all the time.
Popped up. Jensen really battled that one, make the catch. He still should have been thrown out. You can't throw your equipment.
You didn't even get a second look.
It's amazing.
Well, Jensen really fighting the sun there. Tough day now that the clouds are out of here. And Jensen's a big future prospect. I mean, Sal Perez has been there forever, 14 seasons, and still your everyday catcher. But the future is right there in Carter Jensen.
J.C. Escara takes the ball, 1-0. Escara has 1 hit on the season. 2-0. High fly ball, right center. Isbell on the run, and they run into each other, and the ball is dropped. And Escara is going for 3, and he will make it. Boy, that was unfolding in slow motion. That's the center fielder's ball, Paul.
No doubt about it. We saw the other day when the Angels, the shortstop has priority right here. We've got isn't that one of the best center fielders in the world? Ends up getting tied up. Ball drops. Escara. You know, you really got a guy out of the box, ran the whole way, ends up at third base. And a big break for the Yankees. All I thought off the bat was plus 950. I thought maybe he got the home run, but nope. But again, not jogging the whole way, ends up at third base. I think he's got a good opportunity to score a run there.
And brings the infield in. Pitch up and away to Rosario.
You know, he's screaming and yelling. I don't know if Isbell called him off, but you got to get it out of the way if you're the right fielder. If you hear any kind of voice.
That'll get a run in. Thomas turns and looks, and will get more than a run in. A 2-run home run by Rosario, and the Yankees are up 2-0.
What a great pickup Rosario is. This is an ideal situation for him. As good as he is against left-handed hitter or left-handed pitchers, you've got so much protection with Aaron Judge and Stanton that he can just sneak in and have his games against lefties. Third home run of the year and a big one for the Yankees.
So here's Judge. Now, if you're keeping score at home, Escara given a triple.
Guess if you hit it 380 feet, they just give you a hit.
1-1.
And if you take the center fielder off the field or the right fielder off the field on that play, the ball gets caught.
Yep. And if you're hesitant about giving either one of them, which one of them should you give the error to? That's why you need a team error. That's an error. The pitcher got an out. I mean, I'm glad for J.C. Escara getting a triple, but Noah Cameron's not glad. And that's Escara's first career triple. Well, they've decided they are not throwing strikes to Aaron Judge, so he walks for the second time.
Quick bat. I mean, just right to the ball. You think he knew he got it? We were talking yesterday just how much energy and fun he plays. You can't help but root for him.
Bellinger crushes one to right field. There it goes. See ya. Into the second deck. A 2-run shot for Bellinger. And the Yankees lead 4-0.
No doubter by Cody Bellinger, second of the year. We talked about how tough Cameron is on lefties. Well, he left one over the middle of the plate, and Bellinger did not miss it. Absolute rocket. Yankees up 4-0.
You know, Paul, you can't get into the brain of a player, but you can only try to put 2 and 2 together. Cameron must have gotten unnerved with the Escara ball.
Yeah, you've got to be able to recover somewhat as a pitcher. I mean, not every ball's caught. There are errors. You know, all of a sudden you take it as a challenge to pick up a teammate. But this ball right here looked like he tried to throw something spinning away, and it just kind of hung right over the middle of the plate. Bellinger's had some big swings lately and just missed a couple balls. But he didn't miss that one.
11 games without a home run until that one, his second home run of the year. Now has a 7-game hitting streak as well. Two and 1 on Stanton.
You see Max Fried over there talking to him, and you usually don't see pitchers. Max Fried's probably asking, what'd you see there? Because I don't want to throw that one to a left-handed hitter. Most of the guys, you know, are the teammates or the hitters that understand, you know, what pitch you got, what you did with it. That was in the second deck there, Michael.
Ground ball up the middle. Massey fields and gets Stanton. There's Ben Rice grounded to first in the second. They've just changed that triple to an EA.
Listen to the telecast, Michael. They didn't want to contradict you. You know, they've had enough. Michael said it's an error. It's an error. Yeah, getting them off the plate there. Oh, up and in.
Three and 0 on Rice. Boy, the Royals have been struggling so mightily to score runs. 4-0 seems like a big hill for them to climb. 3-1. Driven deep to right field. There it goes. See ya. Against the lefty into the second deck. And it is 5-0 Yanks.
Wow. Ben Rice hits the ball hard, Michael. You know that? Got in a hitter's count. 398 feet. We just saw back-to-back lefty shots into the second deck. Those are rockets.
So two of the Yankee left-handed batters go yard against a lefty who's really tough on lefties.
Yeah, career-wise, 170 coming into the game. Lefties against Cameron. Well, good fastballs, a hanging slider to Bellinger, and then a 3-1 fastball to Ben Rice. No problem getting to it.
That one is lined down the left field line. It's a base hit for Grichuk. Thomas cuts it off. Grichuk going for two. Here's the throw. Wide and not in time.
Just everything in sync. He just is so quick to the ball. You see him actually pull his hands in a little bit just to throw the barrel to the ball, and just a shot. And now Grichuk with another bullet. So you're seeing Rosario, Grichuk, guys that you want in against lefties, having great swings right now. Ben Rice, you can watch that one all day.
Here's Jazz. 1-0. One and one. Jazz is desperate to join the home run party. Rice has 7 home runs this season, tied for 4th in baseball. Two and 2 on Chisholm. Swing and a miss. But the Yankees send 9 runners to the plate, and they get 5 runs. And it started with this play. Ascara with a high fly ball. They bang into each other at 3 bases. And then 3 more bangs. That's right, Rosario, Bellinger, and Rice. The Bronx Bombers here in the 3rd, 5-0. 5 spot for the Yankees in the 3rd, and they lead 5-0 on the Tri-State Cadillac scoreboard. Bobby Witt Jr. will lead off against Will Warren, who has 5 strikeouts in 3 innings. Count 0-1. Poked into center field. It's going to dunk in for base hit. Bobby Witt Jr. leads off with a single.
Well, when you look at his career numbers, you know the start is it's going to change. And he had 3 hits in Detroit the day before they got here. So he's going to go through a tear here and get hot. The Yankees are just hoping it's in a couple days from now.
Pasquantino with a high fly ball. Shallow right. Chisholm's there to make the play. Here's Caglione. Wood has great speed and base stealing ability, but does the 5-0 deficit keep him at first?
You see guys run much more now, down in the game than you used to. I think that, you just look at it as trying to take opportunities to, if you steal a base, you got a better chance of scoring a single than waiting for another home run. Caglione was like the Ohtani in college. He was a two-way pitcher and a hitter. Didn't know when he was drafted. He was the 6th overall pick, 2024 in the first round. So didn't know if he was going to be a pitcher or an everyday player.
Caglione had his share of strikeouts last year, striking out 23% of the time. But it's a little concerning this year. In the first 20 games, he struck out 30.3% of the time. And that's too much.
Can't sugarcoat that one, Mike?
Nope. Got him. Wow. Down 5-0. He got picked off cleanly at first base.
Yeah, to see the replay where he wasn't looking or he just flat out was leaning towards second base. Yeah, it was a little twitch though, like he was going, and they picked it up and got it over there. Easy pickoff.
Tell you what, that's got to be a really tough walk back to the dugout.
Mm-hmm. So when you're happy your manager's been thrown out and sitting in the office, he won't meet you at the top step.
And it shows you, I mean, this is one of the best players in baseball, and they could still make mistakes.
Yeah, you could see he was almost ready to, kind of twitching to go to second base to really, turn that left foot in front of the right and get going, and they just caught him right in the middle.
Another called strike 3, and the 6th strikeout for Warren. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. 5-0 Yanks. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Delta, the official airline of the New York Yankees. Delta, keep climbing. Well, the Yankees sent 9 batters to the plate when they scored 5 runs in the 3rd. Caballero leads off this inning and gets himself a hit. He fouled out to the catcher in the 3rd, but he starts this inning with a single.
It looks like Cameron is really getting a lot of the plate with some of his pitches, trying to get ahead, and the Yankees just going after it. Aggressive swings. Some great swings here from the Yankees today.
Here's J.C. Escara. Reached third base on an E8. That opened the floodgates in the 3rd. Caballero with 9 stolen bases.
You look at these powder blue uniforms, you can't help to think that, George Brett. And what reminds me of the first time I was with the Reds, we went to spring training to play the Royals, and it's right when Bo Jackson had signed. You watch Bo Jackson walk out in this uniform. Just looked like a cartoon character. He was just physically perfect. And you were hitting balls over the scoreboard, everything. He only played with it for 4 years, 86 through 90. And then he had, that horrible hip injury in football. But, man, it was unbelievable when he broke in.
One inside 2-1.
Michael, does the name Gene Connell mean anything to you?
Gene Connell.
It's the most amazing story. Talking about Bo Jackson. Connell was one of the most unusual athletes in New York sports history. He played for the Yankees in 41. Played for the Rangers in the early 40s.
Wait. New York Hockey Rangers?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then again, he played with the New York Knicks in the late 40s. I mean, this guy did it all. Played for all three teams.
That one is driven into right center field. No error on this one. That splits the outfielders, and it goes to the wall. Caballero rounding third. He's coming home. It's an RBI double for Escara, and the Yankees lead 6-0.
Well, you've seen some good swings. We just went over. Escara just rips this ball, and then you just look up and you think how fun it is to have speed in your lineup, because Caballero scores easily from first. Another little breaking ball away, stays with it, and just lines it into left center or right center field. No chance right there to get Caballero. Watch him off to the races, knows it's not going to be caught. I tell you, when you're hitting and you're hitting doubles, you love a guy with speed that will score from first.
Rosario takes outside. He hit a 2-run home run in the third inning. That's his third home run of the year, and he has 8 ribbies.
Cameron's only got, that's his 59th pitch. But a lot of them been hit hard, and I keep looking at the bullpen. Nobody up in the Kansas City bullpen yet, so.
Well, the 3 home runs last inning, the exit velocity on them, presented by Spectrum. Rosario's was 112.1, Bellinger 105.1, and Rice 105. Wow, Rice was the softest one.
Well, yeah. It's getting up there to, in Judge and Stanton territory.
Three and one. Three and two. Popped up. Massey. Well, you said the name, Paul, and we go to the Optimum Fiber Famously Fast Replay. Andy Hawkins on the mound. Deion Sanders in center. And that was Deion who hit that ball. And he got hurt on that play.
And
they were both hurt on a show for each other in that game.
He got hurt on that play, and he had 3 home runs going in, and then the first hit back when he made it, he had 4 consecutive home runs.
If he didn't get hurt as a running back, he could have done a lot of special things in baseball.
Two guys right there that were pretty good at both sides, football and baseball. Bo Nose. Remember the Bo Nose commercials?
Oh, yeah. One of the great ad campaigns. So the fourth home run that you're talking about with Bo, that was after missing 38 games, and it came off of Randy Johnson. You know the one play I always think of with Bo Jackson? When he made a catch and climbed up the wall.
Kind of ran a circle around the wall.
Ran a circle up the wall. Just a freakish athlete. And the bullpen finally, I guess the phone was off the hook. Mitch Spence warming up.
You were talking about, I mean, we looked at that picture of Deion Sanders, and the first time I played against him, and obviously he was known for his speed, I was in Cincinnati. Aaron Jones goes down on an off-speed pitch, and he hit a ball down the line. And, you know, as a right fielder, and I'm playing in Riverfront Stadium, you have this little time clock. And I got a good care of him, and I'm thinking, yeah, I might have a chance at second. I literally looked up, and he was already around second.
Wow.
Heading into third. I'm like, something's a little different here.
Bellinger rips one into right center field. That'll score Escara. It's an RBI single for Cody Bellinger, his third ribby of the game. And the Yankees are up 7-0.
Well, Bellinger's numbers on lefties were ridiculous last year. And again, today, just ball's out away from him, and he's able to just stay through it. Great swing, great balance, and not coming off the ball. That's the big thing, lefty on lefty, is you can't come off the ball. You got to stay through it. Cody Bellinger, some great swings today off camera.
Stanton checks his swing.
You can see Stanton kind of zoning in on camera, and if he continues to go away, you know, he's got a good opportunity to shoot one out the other way.
How about this throw by Bo?
Jimmy Leyritz. That's flat-footed, too. That's just all arm right there. Mike Gallego. Boy, there's some names from the past.
Center field, Isbell is there, and that'll do it. But the Yankees hit 2 runs on 3 hits. 1 man left on base. Bo knows baseball. So do we. Yankees lead. Tomorrow, don't miss a Sunday matinee on Yes as the Yankees and the Royals wrap up this weekend set here in the Bronx. Pre-game coverage begins at 1 with first pitch scheduled for 1:35 on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. Carter Jensen fouls off the Warren offering, and 5th inning is underway.
Michael, I feel a lot better about things if we're calling a sweep tomorrow, huh?
You'll feel good?
I feel like we really turned things around for him. What do you think?
That one is lined in the center field. It's a base hit. Ending the 4th inning was Caglione striking out looking. That was his 6th strikeout. 6 Yankee strikeouts brought to you by your local Tri-State Audi dealer. Here's all 6.
Man, what you notice about him, some of them are just looking. I mean, he's got good life on his fastball, and I think he's at 70 now. 70 strikeouts. Without the bat leaving your shoulder in the past couple of years, which coming into the game, he was leading with 67. Just keeps going.
All right, so in answer to what you just said, I'm going to quote the great John Sterling.
Yeah.
You ready?
Right.
If I could impact what's on the field with my voice, I'm very underpaid.
Exactly. Very nice.
Massey fouls it back. So the 70 strikeouts looking for Warren, that's the most in the majors.
That didn't sound like that was the first time you were imitating John Sterling. Huh?
I can channel John after 10 years together. It'll be a 0-2.
Nice. I had to peek over there to see he wasn't sitting next to him. Still speak with him often?
Yes.
Yeah. Still tuning into the game?
He watches everything. He watches every sporting event. He's got 3 TVs going at the same time.
I know one thing he doesn't do. He returns calls. He has no clue what the numbers are.
No, and he doesn't know how to text.
Yeah. So I did call him when he retired. Congratulations. And he called me back a couple days later, and we're having a conversation. And all of a sudden, I realized he really didn't know who he was talking to. And he said, I didn't have your number stored. I said, John, it's Paul O'Neill. He's like, oh, okay.
7 strikeout.
Sorry, Michael.
That's okay, Meredith. What's up?
I was just going to say I had a similar scenario with John Paul. Same thing. Called to check in on him, and, it took a little while.
Yes. And you could tell he's talking, trying to figure out who he's talking to. And it just, it takes a while. There's that awkward point where you got to introduce yourself to him, right? On the phone.
His voice sounds amazing still, though, Paul.
Yeah.
It's hard for him to store the names because he still uses a flip phone.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
No?
It took me a long time to get over my razor, like a couple years ago.
0-2. Warren pitching a gem. 56 pitches, 1 out into the 5th inning. Came in at 1-0, 2.45. His ERA is now at 1.99. Trying to nail that outside corner. 2-2. Strike 3, another call third strike.
Now, this is one that you understand because he froze him. He threw that two-seamer right at his front hip and then kind of ran it back over the plate, and that can freeze a hitter. But you also see some four-seamers right down the middle. Guys just don't pull the trigger. Great pitch right there.
Paul, how does a hitter hit that ball? It's starting out at you, and then it just doesn't seem like it should happen.
It's very tough because you got to have good movement. But the only problem is it's such a hard pitch for left or righties to throw correctly every time.
Mm-hmm.
If you get it out over the middle of the plate, then the hitter can read it. But if it starts at your hip, that's where you freeze and you give up on it.
Strike. So 0-2 on Lane Thomas. 12 of 17 first pitch strikes for Will Warren. One and two. Popped up. Rice, Escara, they run out of room.
I'm just thinking, you talked about Garrett Cole, you talked about Rodon. Mm-hmm. You got Clark Schmidt out there too.
But that'll be about August.
Paul, you mentioned Clark Schmidt. He was actually in the clubhouse when the Yankees were playing the Rays at Tropicana Field, and he took a major step in his rehab process, throwing from the mound for the first time. He was so excited that he was able to get back out there, even though there were no hitters. He threw about 10 pitches, but just to get the ball in his hand again and be able to throw from the mound was something that was a big step for him.
All right, so the pitcher's called a ball, and Will Warren challenged by T-Mobile.
The pitch is a ball. New York has one challenge remaining.
That's a rare pitcher's challenge. It doesn't happen very often.
And if you look at the percentages, believe it or not, the pitchers aren't real good at challenging. Catchers are really good. The pitchers, not so much.
Another strike three looking. A lot of window shopping for the Royals against Will Warren. 3 more strikeouts, 9 in 5 innings.
Welcome back to Yankee Stadium. Garrett Cole was in the Yankees clubhouse earlier today. He's in the dugout right now. Yesterday, he was throwing for the Somerset Patriots, 4+ innings for him. I spoke to him for the pregame show today, and he told me overall everything felt good. He's extremely encouraged. His velocity about 95, 96 miles an hour. The delivery felt solid. He was throwing a lot of strikes. Certainly still more to do. It's about building himself up at this point in time, but so far he's checked just about every box he is needed to, but he said building up, well, that's a big physical box that he is going to have to check. So far, so good. The recovery has been good. He didn't feel any additional soreness that he doesn't typically feel after going out there and throwing his first outing. But, guys, he told me the adrenaline yesterday was high when he was out there on the mound. He said he got a couple more ticks on the velocity than he was getting in those live sessions just because he was so excited to be back out there. Now, he actually got in his car and was listening to the game on the radio as he was driving home. He heard the Ryan McMahon home run, and he said he actually screamed in the car, Michael. So happy for his teammate.
It's very cool. Now, I was talking to him today, too. He seems so pumped up. You know, this guy, it's not just a baseball player. He loves baseball. He loves the science of pitching as well. You saw that Mitch Spence is in for the Royals, and I had an opportunity. I was talking to him with NJ.com's Bob Clappers, who pitches during his, I mean, he loves the art of pitching. And I'm just mesmerized when you hear Garrett Cole break down what he did, why he threw the pitches that he did yesterday. And it's a science to him. It really is. That one's up the middle, right at Witt, and they retire Rice. And I did something today. You know I'm a rules follower, Paul.
Yeah.
I broke rules.
You did?
All right, so you had to be out of the clubhouse today. Yeah, I'm going to tell on myself. You have to be out of the clubhouse at 11:30. And when that clock hits 11:30, you have to be out, because that's when Aaron Boone will speak.
Right.
Well, at about 11:24, we started to talk to Cole. And he was on a roll, and no one would break up Cole. So right. we were there till like 11:35, so they're going to have to hit me with a demerit. But we got out late.
You only get a couple. It's like 3 strikes and you're out.
Now, Paul, what he's not telling you is he walked into the Aaron Boone press conference. Everybody saw him walk in. He sat down, and then Aaron Boone got up. It was over.
Oh, it was brutal. It was brutal. That's hit sharply. Wow. Oh, what a play by Garcia. And he guns down Grichuk. That ball just was on him in a second, and he fought it and then got up and made a perfect throw. He won a Gold Glove last year.
Yeah, we talk about his defense, and look, he catches this going away from the ball because it's hit so hard. There's no way to like judge a hop. You kind of just stand your ground and field it to the side, but then plenty of time. It's hit that hard. What a play. Grichuk didn't like it, but
no.
Slow motion looked cool.
Chisholm dribbles one first base, and it kicks foul. What are you seeing with Jazz, why he's not being Jazz right now?
Well, it's home runs in his mind. There's no doubt about it. He's had a lot of pitches since I've been here, just in this series that you see him usually crush, and he's just trying too hard to elevate the ball and pull the ball. And again, what I tell you a home run is, Michael, it's a bad pitch and a good swing. And right now he's getting some good pitches to hit, and he's just trying to do a little bit too much with it. And believe me, every major league hitter's been there when you feel like you haven't hit a home run in a while.
He's still sitting on 0. He was a 30-30 guy last year. One and 2. 0 for 2 today. Ground ball to first and a strikeout. 31 home runs last year. OPS 813 from a second baseman. That's really good for any position. That's good, except for Judge. He's usually about 1.2. Swing and a miss. Chisholm down on strikes. Spence retires the Yankees in order 1-2-3. We're going to go to the 6th.
Michael with your Audi update. Twins and Reds, bottom of the first, 2-on-1 out. Ryan Jeffers lining one into the gap in left center field. It goes all the way to the wall, scoring 2 for Minnesota as Jeffers ends up at third with a 2-run triple. Twins are up 2-1 over the Reds in the bottom of the third, Michael.
Well, thank you, Justin. Let's go around the majors. Munetaka Murakami of the White Sox, 6 home runs in 20 games, had his first grand slam last night. Ohtani, 49-game on-base streak, 4th longest in Dodgers history. And Coors Field, a game played after 3 inches of snow on Friday. Isbell takes a strike as we start the 6th inning. Murakami's played very, very well for the White Sox, and there was not as much of a demand on the free agent market for him as people thought, so the White Sox got him at a very reasonable price. And down goes Isbell. 10 strikeouts for Will Warren, and he struck out 4 in a row.
This is just one of those days that you look at everything is working. His 2-seamer's been good, his 4-seamer, and now even the breaking ball. It's just, these are those great days where everything you throw, you have complete control of.
Garcia takes a strike. He's one of the strikeout victims. He also opened the game with a double, but they stranded him there. And the Royals have 3 hits.
And that last strikeout, he actually kind of turned that ball over, and that's why you're starting to see the splits get better in favor of Warren, where he's got a changeup that he can use as a weapon to strike out left-handed hitters.
One and two. Can he make it 5 in a row? Nope, not yet. This is his 3rd career game with 10 or more strikeouts. And the others were both last year. He had 11 on June 17th against the Angels and 10 on May 20th against the Texas Rangers. Popped up on the right side. And Judge will make the play. It's time to name that Yankee, brought to you by Prevagen, made for your brain. 250 hitter, 332 hits, 20 home runs with the Yankees, 76, 77, 78. Sometime with the Royals. The Giants started with the Royals.
I got no chance.
I got it? Yeah, I got it. I can't believe it. Scooped up by Rosario. And he retires.
All right, folks, I'll find out where he got it from during the break, all right?
Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by the New York Lottery. This could be your lucky play. By your local Tri-State Genesis retailers. Learn more at genesis.com. And by Optimum Fiber, famously fast fiber internet. Monitor Einstein scoreboard, bottom of the 6th inning, 7-0 Yankees lead. They take a look at the latest iteration of Yankee Stadium. This is actually the 3rd Yankee Stadium. And on this date, 1923, Paul, the original Yankee Stadium opened.
I did see that in the notes. But they built it in like less than a year, right?
284 days. And this is what baffles me. I go to you for financial advice.
Yeah.
So that in 1923, it cost $2.4 million to build. Now I know there's inflation, right?
Which would be like 40 or 50, right?
Grounded up the middle, and Witt can't get a handle as Caballero beats it out. So in today's dollars, Paul, that's $44 million.
Yeah, well.
So, I mean, you can't build a parking lot for that now.
I know.
And they're at the grand opening. And the reason the Yankees built this ballpark, Paul, was because they were tenants of the Giants in the Polo Grounds, and then they got so big when they got Babe Ruth that John McGraw said, get out. And so the Yankees said, oh, we'll get out. We'll build the bigger place right across the river where you could see it. And that's exactly what they did. And the opener was against the Red Sox, 74,200 people. Yankees won. Babe Ruth hit the first home run. And in the New York Evening Telegram, a legendary sports writer, Fred Lieb, called Yankee Stadium, he's the first guy to ever say this, the house that Ruth built. That stayed with it.
It's been around for a while.
Just moved across the street. So that was from 1923, and then they refurbished it during the 74-75 seasons where the Yankees played at Shea Stadium, and it's called a refurbishment, but it was almost torn down to the studs. And then they opened up the beautiful Yankee Stadium that you played in, and they were there from 1976 to 2008, and this place opened in 2009.
I don't know whether
up the middle, Spence knocks it down, takes the out at first as Caballero moves to second.
More impressed with the price, but more impressed that you built a stadium in less than a year.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I can't even get my kitchen done at home in less than a year.
And it probably cost more than $2.4 million.
I hope not. Not with carving the checks. But
here's Rosario, runner at second. Yankees lead 7-0. Bottom of the 6th inning. And a strike from Spence. Oh, 2. Grounded foul. And a base hit up the middle for Rosario. Caballero will score. It's an RBI single. His third ribby of the game, and the Yankees lead 8-0.
Well, the offense has definitely shown up today. You've seen home runs, you've seen speed, you've seen base hits. Another good at bat from Rosario off a righty, a hanging slider right up the middle.
Well, he was a cheerleader for most of last year when he came over at the trade deadline. He's much more than a cheerleader now. Here's Aaron Judge. 2 walks and a strikeout.
And Michael, just back to Ahmed Rosario for a minute. Aaron Boone said this morning that he's just very prepared. He's talented, and he provides a spark for this team that certainly helps him both in the dugout and out on the field. Now, when I walked into the clubhouse today, Rosario had a sign on the top shelf of his locker in the clubhouse. It said "Win" in big letters, and then under it, it says "What's important now." Underneath that, it said "Mindset." I asked him about it, and he said the senior director of organizational performance, Chad Bowling, gave it to him. It's just a reminder for him on a daily basis to stay present.
Pretty good stuff.
We need a poster up here.
We do.
Really?
I do.
I don't
think
know what it's going to say.
Yeah.
Right field, down the line, and foul ball. There's several posters I have in mind, but I'm choosing not to say them.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I think the last poster I had was like Farrah Fawcett. I don't think that'd go well.
What I was thinking of.
Nice.
Might be the most famous poster. That and Don Mattingly's Hitman.
Nice.
Two and two. 8-0 Yankees. We're on the bottom of the 6th inning.
Great sports day here, Michael. As we enjoy the Yankees. You got the Knicks tonight, huh?
And that's a strikeout of Judge. All right, that's 2 down as Bellinger comes up. And let's check out one of today's player props brought to you by Bet365, where winning is everything. Can he hit a second home run or more? It'll be plus 900 on Bet365.
Yeah.
Maybe deep to right. Caglione back. See ya. A 2-run home run for Bellinger. Somebody cashed in, and it's the Yankees as they lead 10-0.
Well, that's tremendous. I mean, he's had great swings all day. When I saw that, I'm like, that's not a bad opportunity. When a player's got this good a swing, and now he faces a righty. Wow, what a day.
5 ribbies, 3 hits, not too bad. He had not hit a home run in 11 straight games, so he has 2 in 1 game.
Just off the end of the bat, but still plenty to get it out to right center field.
Oh, that's a pretty sweet catch, too.
Isn't baseball weird, though? The ups and downs. You go 20 games without a home run, then you hit 2 in 1 day. You go for 10, then you go 8 for 8. There's no rhyme or reason. Fans, look at you when you're going bad. It's like, how could you be this bad? And you ask yourself the same thing. But then all of a sudden, it turns, and you wonder how you ever went through that time where you weren't hitting.
What a play by Bobby Witt Jr. And Stanton's going, really, really. He's 0 for 4. Bellinger isn't. 10 strikeouts for Will Warren. We look at them on StatCast 3D by Google Cloud.
Well, you see it there. He's used everything. I mean, the 4-seam with a sinker and the changeup against the lefty. A season high. 10 strikeouts. He's had a great game today. Like I said, just one of those days where everything is working for you. Your control's good. Got some changes in the field, Michael. Let me know what's going on.
We got Rosario moving from third to right, so they give Judge the rest of the day off. And last night's hero, Ryan McMahon, takes over third base. There's a strike. Fly ball into right center. Rosario gets tested right away. 1 down.
There's a right fielder, center field. So Aaron Judge and Grissom, they basically know each other well enough where a ball's hit, you know who's got it. This is an odd situation because you got Bellinger in center field, Rosario, who's usually at third base, and all of a sudden the ball's kind of hit in between. Cody Bellinger kind of peeked over and didn't call him off. Made it an easier play.
Caglione hits one into right center, cut off there by Bellinger. He'll fire into second. Perfect throw. Wow. Caglione with a single. That was a good throw, man.
Cody Bellinger, I was just wondering, and I'm sure Meredith will probably talk to him after the game. Any different kind of preparation when you come to the ballpark, you're playing left field every day. All right, now you're going to play center today. Last year, you're going to play first today. It's just amazing to me how easy he makes it moving around the field.
And he's better than average at every position he plays.
Yeah, he's just not filling a gap. I mean, he's good defensively wherever you put him.
One-on-one on Carter Jensen catching today. Sal Perez has a day off, day game after night game.
After all the close games the Yankees have been playing, I mean, Aaron Boone and Blake, they deserve a game like this. We just kind of hang out, sit in the sun, and kind of watch the boys go at it.
So, they haven't had many laughers. So this is a 21st game. 14 games have been decided by 2 runs or fewer. That's the most in the major leagues, and they're 7-7 in those games. And that's the most through 20 games that they've had that type of game since 1972. And everything's been a nail-biter, Paul, because each of their last 5 wins have come in their final at bat.
Right.
Help America's Heroes. Donate $11 a month and amplify your impact with a car or land donation. Go to t2t.org. Just 84 pitches by Will Warren. 1 out here in the 7th. 3-2 count on Jensen, runner at first. Right field and deep. Rosario will watch it go into the seats. A 2-run home run for Jensen. And it's 10-2 Yanks.
Well, finally a ball that he kind of missed with. It looked like a breaking ball out over the middle of the plate. We'll call it when we see it. But, all of a sudden, the first blemish of the day. It was a heater up in the strike zone, and he got to it. You've seen a lot of guys swing through that ball. Finally got one out on the barrel.
High fly ball, right side. In the seats. Yankees will get someone up in the bullpen. Chavihi starts the throw. Soft ground ball first base. Rice steps on the bag for out number 2. Well, come celebrate Star Wars Day at Yankee Stadium on Saturday, May 2nd. There'll be appearances by your favorite Star Wars characters, and the first 18,000 guests in attendance will receive a Max-free Mandalorian bobblehead. Tickets are going fast, so get your tickets today at Yankees.com, and may the Force be with you. And Blackburn also up. Isaac Collins fouls it away. 19 of 25. First pitch strikes for Will Warren. And a strike. He's thrown 90 pitches, 60 for strikes.
He's been on today, other than that home run, which really was a ball kind of out of the strike zone that he kind of tomahawked. I mean, he's just been phenomenal today.
Looking to go 2-0. Swing and a miss. 11th strikeout for Will Warren. But a blemish here in the 7th inning. The 2-run home run by Jensen at the end of 6.5. It's time for the 7th inning stretch. All Yankees so far, they're up 10-2. But we'll stay right here as we honor America in the Bronx.
Ladies and gentlemen, you rise, remove your caps, and please direct your attention to the area behind home plate as the New York Yankees welcome an honored military guest. United States Army Colonel Patrick Joyner from West Milford, New Jersey, who served in Operation Enduring Freedom. The Yankees say, thank you, Patrick, for your sacrifice and for your service to our nation. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please join us in singing along with Robert Merrill's rendition of God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her. Through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the ocean, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
It's Justin and Dallin with the Ford Studio update. 7 innings, 2 runs, 11 strikeouts for Will Warren. Dallin, nice to see him put it all together. I'm sure it doesn't hurt when the offense takes you to 10 runs as well.
I mean, super efficient start by Will Warren today. He's been awesome, just electric, staying on the attack. He's had Royals hitters off balance the whole game. And, you know, the offense, Belly 2, Rosario 1, and keep lefty Rice in there. Left on lefty, takes some yard.
We'll see you on the postgame. Back to the booth with Michael and Paul.
Well, thank you, Dellin, and thank you, Justin. 10-10-0 for the Yanks, 2-5-1 for the Royals. Cameron went 4. Carter Jensen's had a decent day. Will Warren's had a great day. And Cody Bellinger might even be better than great. 3 for 4, 2 home runs with 5 runs batted in. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Ben Rice will start it off. Mitch Spence still in there. Came in to start the 5th. Rice with a home run against the left-hander Cameron in the 3rd inning. 1 for 3. Two and 0. So 3-0 on Rice. Yankees lead by 8, 10-2. A win today, and the Yankees will take the series. Three and one. And Ben Rice is on to start the 7th. Well, fan, Yankee games are on Yes, and they're streaming live on the Gotham Sports app, included for free with your eligible TV provider subscription. Download and sign into the Gotham Sports app now and check out all the great Yankees content, including game highlights, post-game sound, and full episodes of Homegrown. Here's Randall Grichuk. Almost knocked down Maikel Garcia in the 5th inning, but thrown out. He has 1 hit and 3 at-bats, a double to left field in the 3rd. So, Paul, all the buttons pushed were correct today, but you have another lefty on the mound for the Royals tomorrow. You run out the same lineup?
Yeah, you're going through, I would imagine Wells would be back in there. Other than that, yeah, you might send out the same group. Because this is one of those games that happened before in this homestand where some guys were getting the day off, but they actually got to play half of the game. So right. I think Aaron Boone thinks, I got him in the game. I'll keep him sharp and pretty much same lineup, possibly Wells back in the lineup tomorrow.
You do wonder, will they give Stanton a day off because he's been struggling and have Goldschmidt get a game? Mm-hmm. There's one. That's all they'll get. Garcia had some trouble getting it out of his glove, and he's angry with himself. There's Jazz Chisholm. And they always try to give Stanton a rest when there's an off day after that, so this way he get 2 days off in a row. Jazz is 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. And Giancarlo is 0 for 4 today, 1 for his last 20. Not holding Grichuk on at first. Ten runs on 10 hits for the Yanks, 2 runs on 5 hits for Kansas City. 2-1. The 2-1. 3-1. And a walk to Jazz Chisholm. First and second, 1 man out. Time for today's injury report, brought to you by Montefiore Einstein, the official hospital of the New York Yankees. And Meredith, what do you have on Carlos Rodon?
Well, Michael, he was throwing in Bridgewater, New Jersey, the home of the Somerset Patriots. 58 pitches for him, 4 ups. He faced 3 different hitters, one of whom was Anthony Volpe. Next step for him will likely be to start his rehab clock, although the Yankees have not made that decision official yet. Aaron Boone did say earlier today that Carlos Rodon is probably still a bit ahead of Garrett Cole, but something to keep an eye on. The good news is both of these guys are on the mound and throwing and will eventually join this Yankees rotation this season.
You think about it, Paul, 2 unbelievable additions to a pitching staff.
I mean, yeah, it only looks brighter going down the line here when you see as good at pitching's going on right now, starters, and then you're going to add 2 of the quality guys in the league.
Ground ball, second base. There's one. That's all they'll get. And Grichuk moves to third. Check out the Yankee bullpen budget brought to you by Citizens. Make sense of your money with Citizens. Probably not going to be any need for the high leverage guys. And they'll probably go lower leverage right now. Guys that are still trying to move up in the pecking order to get the final 6 outs. Escara with a big cut. 0-1.
Michael, as I look around, I'm thinking, what's different? We haven't had a how about that yet. That's what's missing so far.
Oh, it's locked and loaded. Don't
we're going late, huh?
Oh,
how about that? Yeah, I got a button up here I can push. See that?
The 2-1. Fly ball right field. Caglione dives, can't make the play, and that'll go to the wall. 2 runs will score. Escara is going for 3, and he will make it. It's a 2-run triple, and the Yankees lead by 10 again, 12-2.
Oh, this is just great to see. I mean, guys that are having great swings. Escara trying to get going offensively. We've talked about it in the backup catcher's position so hard. But what an effort in a 10-2 game. What an effort. You've got to be happy on the Kansas City guys to see guys still playing at this intensity, diving for the ball, but it ends up being a triple. The first triple is taken away from him, went to an error. I mean,
so now this is a real first triple.
Last time a catcher hit 2 triples, Lord knows when, right?
James knows.
Oh, yeah? Get those little fingers going over there, James.
They're not taking this one away, JC. That was a great effort by Caglione. Just didn't come up with it. Here's Rosario. 3 ribbies on the day for Ahmed. 0-1. Got the answer for you, Paul. Last Yankee catcher with 2 triples in the game. We go back to 1983. Butch Weininger. Coming in, Massey, and he retires Rosario. The Yankees hit 2 more runs. We go to the 8th. It's 12-2 Bombers. It's time to find the answer to Name That Yankee. Those are the numbers, those are the teams, and the answer is Fran Healy. Very close on those late 70s teams with Reggie Jackson, a confidant of Mr. October, backup catcher, later became a broadcaster for the Yankees and the Mets. The answer, Fran Healy.
It's impressive, Michael. You just pulled that one out.
New pitcher is Paul Blackburn. Will Warren's day is over.
Well, that was a good one. Strikeouts, great stuff today. 7 innings.
Well, he was acquired from the Royals for Larry Gore, who we just gave a short shrift for yesterday. Won championships with the Yankees 2 years. Yankee broadcaster and a Met broadcaster. Line drive and caught by Jazz Chisholm, retired Thomas. And that'll bring up Kyle Isbell. So unless the Royals have a very unlikely rally, they'll have lost their 6th straight game. And the Yankees, in recent history, Paul, have just absolutely dominated the Royals. A win here will give the Yankees a 20-1 record in the last 21 regular season series against Kansas City, and that dates back to 2015. And if you want to put that in wins and losses, they would be 54-18. And there's some playoff teams in there, in Kansas City.
Yeah, they beat them in the playoffs too. It's just every once in a while you get teams where just everything lines up well, and it's a good matchup. You outscore them, you pitch well. Yankees do that against Minnesota a lot too. Go up a lot of wins.
The 0-2. Still 0-2.
Yeah, if they played the Central more, the Yankees might win 100 games every year. I mean, it's just like they beat up on the Central Division.
Nice play by Blackburn. So 2 down, back to the top of the order in Garcia. Crowd of 42,070 here on a beautiful Saturday afternoon in the Bronx. Skied the other way and out of play. Up the middle, just Chisholm right there. And Blackburn retires the Royals in order. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Well, Paul, you asked for it, and now Mel Allen will tell you what it is. Hit it, Ezra.
How about that?
All right, Jack Caglione, nicknamed Jack Tani in college for his Shohei Ohtani-like impact as both a pitcher and a power hitter. Has a fastball that topped 101 miles per hour on the mound and produced exit velocities of over 120 at the plate. And as a junior in 2024, tied the NCAA Division I record by homering in 9 straight games. Mel?
How about that?
Yeah. McMahon is first at bat, takes a strike. 1-1. Now, I know it's hard to do both, and you see the changes for the Royals. But if you're that good pitching, why would you not have him do that as well as hit? I mean, it's been proven by Ohtani it can be done.
Mm-hmm. You know, does that open the door for guys like this? I don't know. You'd have to ask, you know, organizations if they would trust that, if anybody else would do it. Caglione, I just wonder if he even, you know, steps foot on a mound anymore. I mean, just
probably not.
For old time's sake, you know.
It's nice for him to know he has that in his toolbox. And McMahon, who had that big home run last night, starts off the 8th inning with a walk. And here's Bellinger, 2 home runs, an RBI single, 5 ribbies, 2 runs scored. All right, so you have 2 home runs. Are you trying for 3 in a blowout game?
You know, it's entering your mind. You try to fight that feeling, but, you know, when it's 12-2, you're thinking, what? And I'm feeling good at the plate. If I see one, I'm going to let it rip.
One and one. Two and one on Bellinger. Bellinger has had a 3 home run game, and it was last July 11th against the Cubs. And the 3-1. He walked him. Now, Paul, you did both.
Now, see, I could throw in high school. I hadn't pitched in a long time, but I lost my head right there. Look at Larkin laughing at me. Yeah, that was a bullet. Oh, all right. Show my strikeout. I had a strikeout before I lost my arm out there. You know what happened that night, Michael? Other than screwing my arm up, I warmed up in the bullpen. I was having so much fun. I warmed up in the bullpen and threw like 9 innings before I even took the mound.
Now, you really did hurt your arm because you pitched 2 innings, right?
Yeah. It's I felt like I had a knife in my arm for a year. Didn't tell anybody, but, you know, when you're trying to... I was pitching then because, you know, I didn't have a position to play at that point because Dave Parker was in... right field every day.
One and 0 to Stanton. Now, if you believe in due, Stanton is due. 1 for his last 20. He's 0 for 4 today. First and second, nobody out. Long foul. The facing of the third deck.
Wow.
Two and one on the Yankee DH, cleaning up today. It's odd when you have 12 runs and your cleanup hitter doesn't have a ribby. Two and two. You said this yesterday, Paul. You still think he's leaking forward or back toward the visitor's dugout?
He looks like a little heavy on his front side because when he doesn't use a lot of a leg kick or anything, but when he kind of starts landing heavy on his front foot, you can tell his head's moving a little bit. And so it's a little thing, but it just gets him off balance a little bit.
High fly ball. Lane Thomas makes the play. Here's Wade Boggs pitching, and he was not throwing hard, but boy, did he want to play in this game. He always wanted to do it. He had a great knuckleball.
Great Mel Stoudemire. You know what? You can find some fun in this game. We were probably getting beat up 10-0 at that point, right?
Nick Swisher had one of those outings where he also pitched. And you're right, it's a tough thing because if a position player is in, usually your team's getting crushed. And you're having fun. It's kind of like a childhood dream.
Right.
You don't want to smile, but okay, but we know the lunacy of it that a position player is pitching. There's a strike to Rice. Rice 1 for 3 and a walk. Had a 7th home run of the year, a solo shot in the 3rd against the left-hander Noah Cameron. Two and 1. Did they have the radar gun on you? Did you hit 90 that day?
Yeah, early. The funny thing was, you say that. I mean, literally, the first inning, I was in like 92, 93, which is really good when you haven't thrown. And then by the end of the game, the next inning, I was like in the 70s. Oh, it was. The tank was empty.
That was Pete Rose as your manager, right?
Yeah.
He's probably thinking, maybe I should start this guy when he's going 92, 93.
Until I started getting bombed. I'll never forget, I went in the clubhouse and Pat Pasillo, you remember that name? He was a pitcher for the Reds. He started the game. And he was like laughing, and you know, because I gave up. I'm looking at him and thinking to myself, you're the one who got bombed. You're a pitcher. That's the only reason I was out there. I remember a pitching story. You remember Tim Burtis?
Yeah.
A big lefty, and he was a bullpen guy, but he was getting a big start. And that's back in the National League where the pitchers hit, right? And I'll never forget, we were in the clubhouse, and he literally was over in his locker, so fired up he was going to hit, right? So he's taping his bat, getting the handle already. He got bombed in the first inning. He never even got to the plate. And I remember Buddy Bell at the time walked by and say, "Hey, Bert, how'd that bat work for you?"
Man,
I never laughed so hard in my life.
So a 3-2 count on Rice. First and second, one out. Bottom of the 8th. And a walk. 3 walks to load the bases. Spence is running on fumes right now. Taking one for the team.
Yeah, nobody up in the bullpen, and he's making a mess at this 8th inning.
And that'll bring up Randall Grichuk. Oh, strike.
I wonder, there's certain like rules of the game. You don't run when it's 10-0. You don't sacrifice. You don't drag bunt. I wonder if that's going to be one of those rules where you don't challenge a pitch too. Close pitch. It's 10-1.
That's not a bad point. Were you on that team, the Yankee team, where you guys had a 6-0 lead over Detroit? Sparky Anderson was the manager?
Yes, because Buck was managing, and yeah.
High fly ball. Caglione makes the catch, Tagging and scoring is McMahon. It's a sac fly for Grichuk. Lucky 13-2. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by your local Ford stores, proud to be the official SUV of the Yankees, and by Delta, the official airline of the New York Yankees. Delta, keep climbing. Now, there is a rule that there are no challenges allowed when a position player is pitching. I bring up that game because you guys were leading 6-0 maybe in the 5th inning. Sparky Anderson was the manager of the Tigers. And you stole a base. Somebody stole a base on the Yankees. And Sparky went nuts.
Right.
He absolutely was screaming a buck across the old Tiger Stadium field. And afterward, he's still killing him, and they had come back to beat you.
Yeah, exactly. And the rule of thumb was in the old days 5 runs or more because you couldn't tie it with the grand slam. You like put the brakes on the base run, and it's not even close to being that now. You see guys 6-0, they're stealing. I mean, you have to, as big as a home run is in the game today, that you score as many runs as you can.
Well, I've never understood it. The rules should have been different for different ballparks. At Fenway, 6-0 is different than 6-0 in a different. Same thing with Tiger Stadium with that overhang in right field.
And another thing, and Sparky was one of them, that managers did on purpose. You were up 5-0. They wouldn't hold you on first base.
They dared you.
Yeah. So it's almost like, if you're going to run, somebody's going to get hit, or we're just going to put our first baseman back to put the brakes on you anyway.
And just the comedic angle of it, even after the game, he's just hammering Buck, and they won the game. They came back and won, so it shows you it wasn't an insurmountable lead.
I guess our pen wasn't on that day.
I guess not. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners on first and third. Yankees up by 11, 13-2. And Jazz's struggles continues. 1 run, 3 walks, 2 men left. We go to the 9th inning. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Nissan. Hop into a Nissan Rogue and hit the road to adventure. Shop NissanUSA.com. And by Citizens, make sense of your money with Citizens. Hi, Paul. We looked up the exact date, May 7, 1993. At Detroit, you're up 6-0 in the 6th inning, and Pat Kelly steals a base. Detroit ends up winning the game 7-6 and 12, and Tettleton with a walk-off single against Scott Caminiti.
Mickey Tettleton. Wow.
Here's Tyler Tolbert. His first at bat. On this day, Paul, on this day in 1950, Vin Scully calls his first game for the Brooklyn Dodgers.
He had a few more after that.
He certainly did. He is the GOAT. Ground ball up the middle and through for a base hit. And the amazing thing about that, he was not that far removed from Fordham.
Right. Was he the start of the big broadcasting string of people?
From Fordham, yes.
Mel Allen, was he a Fordham guy?
No. So from 1950 to 2016, longest tenured broadcaster in sports, the Frick Award in the Hall of Fame, Lifetime Achievement Emmy Award, star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Red Barber actually called his house. He had met him and was giving him some assignments, and Vin Scully wasn't home. And when he got home, Vince's mom said, "Oh, the nicest man called." and Scully said, "Who?" She said, "Red Skelton."
The comedian? Yeah, that is funny.
Says, "Mom, do you mean Red Barber?" She goes, "Oh yeah, maybe it was Red Barber." And that's kind of how his career began. Pasquantino with a high fly ball to right. Rosario puts it away for the first out. Tonight, We've got live minor league baseball on Yes as the AA Somerset Patriots take on the Reading Fightin' Phils. Watch all the action tonight at 6 on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. Here's Jack Caglione.
You know, Michael, you look at things in your life, and there's sometimes in your life, wow, I wish I could do that again. When I look at those minor league days, that's something I don't want to do again.
It was tough, right?
It wasn't fun. It really wasn't.
Now, from what I hear, it's much better now.
Yes, things have changed. I mean, we were making $600 a month, $10 a day in meal money, taking bus rides for forever.
Rolls over on that one. Ground ball to Rice. He steps on the bag as Tolbert moves to second and out away. And after that final out, get highlights, analysis, clubhouse interviews, and we'll hear from Aaron Boone on the manager's report. That's all coming up on the W.B. Mason Yankees postgame. Well, didn't you buy a fancy car with your signing bonus? Didn't you use that in the minors?
Yeah, well, you don't travel with your car. That was just stayed in the garage and plumbed that baby blue Firebird. Yeah, it was a beauty. Seemed like a smart decision at the time.
I'll tell you what, if Neville, your wife, has probably run out of ideas to get you for birthday, that would be unbelievable. She could track down that car in that color and give that to you for your birthday.
Oh, it had little kind of white walls on it.
Yeah. Nev, think about that. 2-0.
Yeah, my Firebird, to put in, it's about the same color as the Royals uniform.
Yeah.
That was it.
How long did you have it?
A couple years.
Yeah.
Before I figured I probably can't afford this, and I won't spend it much. Don't drive it much.
Strike to Jensen. Jensen, the only blemish on Will Warren's ledger today, that 2-run home run with 1 out in the 7th. Otherwise, Warren was great. 11 strikeouts, tying a career high. 7 really strong innings, and obviously the offense supported him, and he's going to watch the final out from the dugout. Helped out by a Yankee offense. I gave him 13 runs.
That'd be great to be a starting pitcher and have a good day. You got 4 nights to just kind of sit and think about it.
And Jensen works a walk. So he's had a good day, Jensen. 2 for 3. Single, a home run, and a walk. So first and second, 2 men out here in the 9th. And that will bring up Massey. You know, when you're picking star of the game, and obviously we've got to make that call. I mean, Bellinger's been unbelievable today, but the starting pitcher was so good. I'm glad I'm not entrusted with that decision.
You'd be stressing out right now?
I would. I mean, that's why higher pay bracket than I will make that decision. Fly ball, right center on the run. Rosario, he can't make the play. It's over his head. Well, Tolbert scores. Jensen scores. It's a 2-run double for Massey, and now it's 13-4.
That ball hit hard into right center. I mean, he gets a good jump on it, just kind of overruns it. Look, it ends up over his back shoulder. You got to remember, he's filling in for Aaron Judge out there. He's an infielder.
Collins will take high. And again, the Royals down to their final strike. And Blackburn deals a little bit high, 2-2. Royals about to go 7-14. The Yankees about to go 12-9. And the count full at 3-2. And the payoff. Foul back. Good pitching matchup tomorrow. A couple of left-handers. Ryan Weathers for the Yankees. Cole Wiggins will go for the Royals. 1:35 first pitch. We'll have it on yes. Swing and a miss, and that'll do it. A great Saturday afternoon for that man and for the Yankees as a whole. Will Warren picks up his second victory with 7 strong innings. So the Yankees win the series against the Royals. They'll try to sweep tomorrow, but the offense comes alive.
Yeah, the offense showed up today, and they've had so many close games. It was nice to have a game where, the pitching was great. The offense was even better. It's just one of those days where you can relax and look forward to trying to sweep the Royals.
I keep getting asked, who is Boone's pointing to? His family sits up there, people he gets tickets for, so that's who he always points to after a victory. Nice. So the mystery is solved as the Yankees win 13-4. All Yankees this Saturday afternoon. We take a look at the Chevy player of the game.
Well, it was Will Warren, and he threw the ball well all day. 7 innings, 11 strikeouts. No walks, Michael. That is an impressive start for Will Warren.
We'll hear from Will on the postgame show with Meredith on the field. But we have more from the stadium. Stay right here, and eventually we'll get you to the postgame show. Yankees win this 13-4. Changing drives of the game brought to you by Audi and the all-new Audi Q3.
Well, let's go back to the 3rd inning. Bombs away. Ahmed Rosario. Yeah, he knew we got it. Well, they weren't finished. Cody Bellinger, a huge day, 2 home runs and 5 RBIs. And then Ben Rice, why not? 3 home runs in the 3rd inning. And the Yankees offense was off to the races.
And Meredith is also going to talk to Bellinger on the field. Very, very busy. 13-11-0 for the Yanks, 4-7-1 for the Royals. Time of the game, 2:30. Will Warren goes to 2-0. Cameron, his first loss. Nice day for Carter Jensen. A better one for Cody Bellinger. 11 strikeouts. That ties a career high for Will Warren. Coming up on the Yes Network, stay tuned for the WB Mason postgame show with Justin Shackle, Dylan Betances, and Adam Ottavino. Special thanks to producer Troy Benjamin, director Dan Barr, Mike Webb, and the executive producer of the Yes Network is Mr. Jared Ames Boschnack. Join us again tomorrow as the Yankees wrap up their homestand with the finale against the Royals. Coverage begins at 1 p.m. on Yes, with first pitch coming shortly after 1:30. Once again, the final score, the New York Yankees 13 and the Kansas City Royals 4. For Paul O'Neill and Meredith Morakovitz, I'm Michael K. saying see ya from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Now, let's go to Justin Shackle, Dylan Betances, and Adam Ottavino, who are standing by in our studios with the postgame show.
Welcome, everybody, to the WB Mason postgame. Justin Shackle, Dylan Betances, Adam Ottavino with you. So the Yankees win it 13-4. They pick up a quick series victory over the Royals. And, Adam, there is a lot to like from the Yankees this afternoon. And as we get to your Hyundai opening comment, it feels like this was the type of all-around performance that they've been looking for here.
Yeah, what a nice little Saturday they had. You know, they outperformed the Royals in every phase of the game. Will Warren on the mound, the boys in the batter's box not chasing, dominating when Cameron came over the middle of the plate. They played clean defense. So beautiful, beautiful when it all comes together. They win the series. They go for the sweep tomorrow.
Will Warren set the tone from the start, attacking the Royals hitters. He kept them off balance all game. I mean, 7 strong innings, 11 strikeouts, ties his career high. Longest out another year for him. He was electric.
Had the heat working for him for sure, and that's why Will Warren is today's optimum player of the game. Went to work, making start number 5 on the season. And guys, what we were talking about, the fastball combo, the 4-seamer and the 2-seamer here from Warren, they really shined this afternoon.
Yeah, JC and Will really seem to have a sixth sense of which one to go to in the right moments. You know, he's locking guys up. You know, now he's overtaken Sonny Gray to have the most looking strikeouts over the last 2 seasons. So really picking his pitches wisely, timing them up, and then executing them. And then I thought once he had the big lead, he did a great job of pounding the strike zone and forcing the Royals to kind of beat him, which obviously they didn't do, and he was able to work deep into this game.
And Dylan, we see this action from the top of the 4th a moment ago. That came after a big 5-run third for the Yankees, and he went down 1-2-3, retired or he faced the minimum, I should say. That is huge for a starting pitcher, no?
I mean, huge. And you see the comeback sinkers we spoke about in pregame, and you know the changeup to go along with. I mean, he was using his fastballs on both sides of the plate, and the Royals hitters didn't know what was coming today. He was super electric.
Like Dylan mentioned, tied his career high with 11 strikeouts, and he upped that number of called strikeouts since the start of last season to 72. It is the most in the majors as Warren improves to 2-0 with a 2.49 ERA. Yankees memorable moments presented by Prevagen, made for your brain, and Will Warren gets his hand raised in the victory here, fellas, and he had knockout stuff. Let's go back to, again, that combo and why it works so well for him. What do you feel like he's able to play off those 2 pitches specifically when it comes to the rest of his arsenal?
For me, for like against left-handed hitters, like if he goes 4-seamer up, he can throw the sinker right off of that. So he tunnels both those fastballs really well. And the changeup is something that you see more drop on it this year, which he's gotten a lot of swing and miss. He got a couple strikeouts on that. But everything starts with the fastball. I said it in pregame. His fastball plays harder than what it looks. You might see it at 94, but you see the hitters. They kind of lock up. They're like, man, like that got on me quick. That's something that he done really well last year, and he's doing it again this season.
Yeah. It's been impressive to watch the 2 fastballs, and one thing that's interesting about Will relative to other guys, like a lot of guys have 4-seam and sinker, but both of his are plus on their own. You know, the 4-seam rides up in the zone, so it's more of a swing and miss pitch, speeds guys up, and then the sinker's got crazy horizontal movement. It's going 18, 19 inches to the right today, so where he releases it is nowhere near where it's going to end up, and you can see that's why the Royals can't pull the trigger, and those balls end up over the plate, and he's freezing them left and right. So he's using the combination of both to full effect here, and you know, it's kind of like Schlittler last night. I wonder if these guys are feeding off each other a little bit with that approach.
Well, you had Schlittler go pretty lengthy last night, and you have Warren going 7 innings here. Back-to-back day quality starts for this starting rotation. What do you think that does for the bullpen here?
I thought today was huge for the bullpen. They did come in like kind of in the medium spot today. They weren't totally shorthanded, but they weren't with a full deck either. You know, going 7 back-to-back, they were able to go straight from Warren to Blackburn. You know, Chavy warmed up for a minute. He didn't even have to go in there. So now they're fully reset, and they should have a great shot to go for the sweep tomorrow.
I mean, and there's no secret. When the rotation has pitched longer in games, the Yankees win, right? And that's what Cam Schlittler did yesterday, and now Will Warren today. I mean, the rotation is very promising with those 2 guys, so I'm excited to see when Cole and Rodon comes back. But these 2 guys, Will Warren and Cam Schlittler, young guys in the rotation, and the future is bright for the Yankees.
Also doesn't hurt when your offense takes you to an early lead the way the lineup did here. Let's look back at the bottom of the 3rd inning in our highlights presented by your local Ford stores. Here in the 3rd, J.C. Escara hitting against Noah Cameron. And Adam, ball like this hit into right center, who has the right of way here?
Yeah, fundamental baseball says it's the center fielder's ball. There was no communication there whatsoever. Nobody called it, so I think Caglione thought it was his since he didn't hear anything. But this cracked the door open, and the Yankees came storming through right after that.
And I know that this error, watching the game with you, you felt like this was just the start of something that you felt had a strong chance of happening anyway against Noah Cameron.
Yeah, this is a guy that I knew they could hit. They just had to, not chase him around the strike zone. They did that to fantastic effect today. They only chased 11% of pitches out of the zone, and they swung at 81% of the pitches he threw in the zone. So that's exactly what you're looking for. Obviously, the Yankees have a ton of talent in the batter's box. Rosario, in particular, got the boys started. I love the energy he plays with.
And then with a runner on, Cody Bellinger unleashing a two-run shot to the second deck. His second of the year, and again, swinging at the pitches in the zone, fellas, right?
Yeah, Belly does a great job of keeping his front shoulder in as long as possible. He hits lefties really well. Last year, I think he had over 300 against lefties, so it's good to see him, get off with that home run there.
Two batters later, more lefty on lefty damage. This time, Ben Rice joining the party, knocks one deep into right field. Home run number 7 on the year from Rice, and the theme continued here.
Benny's just locked in right now, hitting everything. Fastballs, off-speed pitches, righties, lefties, it doesn't matter. They're feeding off each other. They had 4 lefties in the lineup today against Cameron, and it didn't make one bit of difference.
For me, what I love to see there is, you put Rice in the lineup, and he comes up huge, and that's very rewarding for a manager. Obviously, in this day and age, we rely on a lot of data, and at times they say maybe you shouldn't play Rice, but they put him in the lineup, and he comes up in a big way.
Well, those 3 homers highlighted a big 5-run third. Cody Bellinger added another one later in the game for good measure, all part of a 3-hit afternoon for Bellinger, who was on the field moments ago with Meredith.
Cody, big afternoon for the offense, 13 runs total, 5 in that third inning. What's it like being a part of it when guys up and down the order are contributing like that?
Yeah, that was a great one. Rosie really getting it started there. And then for us, just kind of following suit. Will tying his career high with 11 punchies. So, when the pitcher's on the mound doing that, it makes it a little easier for us.
Noah Cameron, tough on lefties. You got in the batter's box in the third inning. How much was it in your mind to be aggressive early in that count?
Yeah, I felt like I liked where I was at my first at-bat. And, I just wanted to continue just taking my swing and, whatever happens after that happens.
That was your first of 2 home runs on the afternoon. You hit one in the 6-2. Did you think that one was going out there?
I thought I was going to go way further than that, I'm not going to lie. So I'm just glad it got out, and wind was blowing in a little bit today, but I'm glad it got out.
Cody, appreciate the time. I'm going to talk to that guy right there with the 11 strikeouts, Will Warren. Will, what allowed you to have so much success this afternoon? How did you keep guys off balance?
Yeah, attacking the zone, trusting my stuff, and then obviously the offense was banging today, so it's really nice to go out there with a lead.
How much does it help you when you get that type of run support to really just go out there and attack?
Yeah, we're not worried about giving up 1 or 2. When they put up 10, it's really easy for me to go out there and do my job, so it's very nice.
How much movement did you feel like you had on your fastball today? It seemed like it confused a lot of guys in that batter's box, among other things.
Yeah, I think having the 2, mixing and, executing our pitches on the zone, and overall just trusting it. I think the trust makes it move a little more in my mind, so I'm happy where it's at.
7 strong, was it meaningful to you to go deeper into the game?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been talking about it. As a starter, I want to go deep in the game. That's our job, and today, I got to do that.
Will, congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Send it back to you.
Nadella, moments ago, you were talking about the impending returns of the Coles and the Rodons. Yes, the Yankees need to make room in the rotation for those 2 pitchers, and it just feels like when Will Warren puts starts like this together, he's kind of raising a hand and saying, hey, don't forget about me in terms of my spot in the rotation. I feel like I'm here to stay.
Well, there's some guys that have to move, but Will Warren would not be one of them. I mean, he's posted up ever since last year. He probably had the most starts, one of the most starters last year. And this year, he excels every time he goes out there. His stuff, for me, is probably at the top in the whole of Major League Baseball. I love what he does. His fastball super electric, and his sweeper has a lot of movement. So he will not be moving out of that rotation. It will have to be somebody else.
I feel like he really, really benefited from those 33 starts last year. It's not an opportunity that a lot of guys get early in their career, especially for the Yankees. He learned a lot through that process. He made adjustments this offseason, and now he's coming back as, more of a seasoned guy, more of a guy who knows he belongs, and a guy that thinks that he can take that leap into a cemented spot in that rotation. And so far, so good, honestly. He looks great.
Now, when you take a look at the lineup's production today, I mean, a number of platoon players coming through, and we also saw a great number of left-on-left damage. J.C. Escarra at the bottom gets the start, quick turnaround, obviously, so he starts in place of Austin Wells, gets on base 3 times. Might have had a chance at 3 triples. I mean, I beg your pardon, 2 triples today. But take a look at his work that he did here against Noah Cameron. This is an encouraging sign here because I know the Yankees believe in the bat.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I love about Escarra as well as Rosario, when both of these guys are in the lineup, they're providing a spark, an edge. They really want to be in there. They know that they can't take their playing time for granted, and Escarra can really hit. That's the pedigree he's had. He was Dominican Winter League batting champion with Aguilas a couple winters ago. So he's not just a defensive guy. He's a guy who can impact the ball offensively. We saw that today. When you're getting production like that out of the bottom of the order, I mean, it's never a bad thing. So really good job by him to get everything going for the Yanks today.
What's more encouraging here? Is it the platoon players, the Rosarios, the Grichiks coming through in the days that they're being called here, or is it the left-on-left damage that we saw a lot of last year? Just took a little bit while for it to surface in the early parts of 2026.
Well, I'd be curious what Dylan thinks on this, but for me, it's the left-on-left. Like, I like the fact that they're not budging off of that strategy. They fully trust Ben Rice right now, and they're letting their guys go out there and play, and they're not worried too much about getting granular with the matchups there. So to me, that's the bigger story because that's going to carry on the whole year. Those platoon guys, they just did their jobs today, but what Rice did, to me, that's a little bit of a departure from days past.
Yeah, being a platoon guy is hard, right? You get your name called probably maybe once or twice a week, so for JC to do what he did, that's obviously great. And when you get in production from the bottom half, something that the Yankees haven't really done earlier in the season, that also helps out. But, you know, having guys contribute left on left, I think is huge. Obviously, you're putting certain guys in the game that usually says you don't put them in the game, and they're rewarding the manager, so I think that's huge.
All-around great day here for the Yankees. They take it over the Royals 13-4. We'll step aside for our first break here on the WB Mason postgame. When we come back, thoughts from the manager, Aaron Boone. He meets the media when we return on Yes and the Gotham Sports app.
The Yankees postgame show on Yes is presented by WB Mason. Count on who but WB Mason for next day free business delivery of Blizzard spring water. The Yankees postgame show on Yes is brought to you in part by your local Kia dealers. Visit kia.com to discover movement that inspires.
Well, tomorrow on Yes, the Yankees and the Royals play a Sunday series finale matinee in the Bronx. Pregame coverage will begin at 1 o'clock with first pitch scheduled at 1:35 on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. Yanks win it today, 13-4. Here's a look at the game summary. A lot of crooked numbers. It's what you want to see. 13 runs, 11 hits, no errors for the Yankees. Cody Bellinger with his first multi-homer game since last August, part of a 3-hit afternoon. J.C. Escarra, a couple of extra base hits, and Will Warren, 2 runs allowed over 7 innings and 11 strikeouts for the 26-year-old. Let's get some postgame thoughts from Aaron Boone in the Toyota Manager's Report.
Aaron, you had a tough lefty on the mound on the other side. Just what do you think allowed Cody Bellinger to break out there?
Yeah, good to see him swing it like that. I mean, I was joking with him. He's hit 1 homer in 2 months since the start of spring, and then 2 in an hour. So it's a funny game that way. But a lot of good swings from him, and obviously up and down the lineup. So, like you said, against a tough lefty too. So good to see the bats really break out like that.
We saw it so much last year of teams walking Judge. They didn't necessarily intentionally walk him, but they weren't giving him anything to hit. Do you think that adds to the motivation for Bellinger in wanting to produce in that spot?
No, I don't know. I mean, it's, as a hitter, you don't want to allow yourself to be too emotional about that. You certainly understand certain situations, and Belly saw it front and center last year where, teams would, pick their spots and really pitch around Aaron. So, I'm sure it's very satisfying when you get the job done and, behind on the heels of that, but at the same time, I don't think you let yourself, get attached to it.
Will Warren ties a career high 11 strikeouts. From your vantage point, what was it about his stuff that made him so effective?
Yeah, I thought the four seam was really playing well for him. Got a lot of swing and miss with that. It felt like I thought his changeup was good today, and then just overall the mix. I thought he spun the ball well, but to me, what stood out was the four seam and the changeup, really playing well for him, and he was efficient, and it was good to see him take that lead and go run with it, and go out there immediately, have a shutdown inning, get us right back in. The pickoff was a big play, but obviously a really good job by him.
Brendan to the left.
A lot of lefties don't hit lefties well.
Mm-hmm.
Why does Cody?
I don't know. I mean, he's flat through the zone. He obviously had a great year against them last year. Hopefully, he continues that. I don't know. I think it's just the flatness of his swing that stays through the hitting zone a long time. I think lends itself to being strong against them.
Bob.
Aaron, last year we saw Schlittler become a high strikeout pitcher almost immediately right out of the gate. Do you see the same for Warren as he develops double-digit strikeouts?
I mean, you've seen even in all of his outings this year, I think what stood out to me is how much swing and miss he is getting with his fastball. And he's got a unique, delivery and slot that allows that to play. So he's a better pitcher now than he was last year and at the end of last year, and he keeps growing. He's certainly proving that he's capable of that.
Jorge, to the right.
Aaron, Will leads the majors in called third strikes this year, and actually going back to last year as well. Why do you think he's so good at getting guys, called third strikes?
Well, I think it's the two versions of the fastball. I know he had another front hip sinker freeze today, which is, can freeze a lefty with that. But I think using the two and the four seam, like he'll ride that four seam even down and away to a lefty, get the freeze there where maybe they see it as a sinker that's going to fall off. I think it's just having a presence on both sides of the plate, especially with his versions of fastballs that probably get some freezes, and coupled with that slot that's just unique. That it's why. There's times he's throwing 95, but there's times you'll see 92 and it's by guys. It's just that kind of lower slot that gives him a little bit of deception.
Brian, to the left.
You've said you expect Rice is going to hit no matter who he's against, but how much progress do you see him making against lefties?
I guess a lot, because he's off to a great start, but, I thought he held his own against them last year and then some. Then he's just continuing to, as I said last night, solidify himself. I think is one of the really outstanding hitters in the league, and we're seeing that more and more. And what other hand you throw with.
Is this going to make it tougher to take him out of the lineup against lefties?
I don't know if it already was. So, I think he's a great hitter. So, him and Goldie will be in there tomorrow. So, and we got some coming up. So I'll pick my spots where it'll make sense. But, yeah.
Greg.
That just getting Judge off his feet. He's fine.
Yeah.
And then it had been almost 2 weeks since you guys had not needed to win in your last at bat. Was it nice to just have one where you kind of cruised today and a little bit of a
Yes. Yes, it was very nice to have, everything kind of sync up there. We get obviously a really outstanding start, and the bats to kind of do that again against a good starting pitcher, and to get the multiple contributions up and down the lineup. That was good to see, and made for a good day for us.
Meredith.
Aaron, understanding your game just finished, but did you get a report on Rodon throwing in Somerset yet?
I did not.
Okay, thank you, everyone.
Well, manager Aaron Boone talking about a lot of subjects because there was a lot to pack into a 13-4 win. pretty much everything positives. But, guys, I want to go back to Will Warren because he talking about Aaron Boone, he talked about that shutdown top of the fourth inning. He faces the minimum only after he picks off Bobby Witt by a sizable margin right there. I imagine to start off the inning like that fuels you the rest of the way, Dylan.
I mean, he was excited more for this pickoff than he was for his 11 punchy game. I mean, this was a great time in the game to, guy on. Bobby Witt obviously loves to steal, picks a great spot, 3-1 count, a runner's count, and he picks him off. I mean, this was huge in this inning.
Yeah, I thought the baseball IQ here, I don't know if the call came from the dugout or whether this was Will on his own, was super high here. I mean, they picked the perfect moment, got Bobby leaning a little bit. I wonder what it feels like to get a free out on the bases. I'll never know, but, man, that's nice. And a shutdown inning, too. Keep the momentum. That's beautiful right there.
And Aaron was asked about a lot of the subjects with Warren that we had been discussing here with the fastball blend. The four-seamer creates the swing and miss, and then the sinker creates a frozen effect. So, like, right now, how big of a pitching riddle is Will Warren?
A massive riddle right now. I mean, he's coming at you with the fastballs, but, again, they're so different. They're so drastically different in movement and shape that... And they both command your respect. So, like, if he's starting you with four-seamers in an at-bat, that commands your respect. As a hitter, you have to raise your level to go ahead and meet that four-seam at the top of the zone. And while you're busy thinking about that, he might slip in that two-seam to freeze you. So he's got it all working right now. He's working great with the catchers, and they're picking their spots beautifully.
Perfect, and Warren was perfect, and he picks up the victory here as the Yankees win it 13-4 over the Royals. We're going to step aside here on the WB Mason postgame, and when we return, we're going to hear from the right-hander. 11 strikeouts of this Royals lineup this afternoon. Warren the winner, Yankees victorious. We'll be back after this.
The Yankees post-game show on Yes is brought to you in part by Audi. Experience the all-new Audi Q3 at your local Tri-State Audi dealer. The Yankees post-game show on Yes is brought to you in part by your local Hyundai dealers. There's never been a better time to test drive that Hyundai you've always wanted. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today.
Will Warren goes 7 innings this afternoon, gives up 2 runs, and strikes out 11. He does it all on 93 pitches, so efficiency personified for the 26-year-old. He picks up the win as the Yankees beat the Royals 13-4. It's pitching decisions presented by Sage. 49 four-seamers. He gave up the home run late in his outing on that four-seamer, but 19 sweepers and then 15 sinkers. So the 15, he was able to record 4 strikeouts. Again, 93 pitches, 62 strikes for Will Warren. Let's hear from Warren in our Genesis Sounds of the Game.
It's nice to go out there with a lead. You're not worried about giving up, 1 or 2. I think, they had a couple, cheaper base hits early, and like the leadoff gets on, and I think I'm able to keep my composure knowing that, the boys are banging that day.
Seemed like you were pretty pumped up by the pickoff. What did you see on that one?
Yeah, I could see him out of the corner of my eye hopping off. And so I'd been talking to Ben about some stuff, and we executed it and got him, so I was pretty pumped.
What do you think about Ben and the way he's been just breaking?
Yeah, he's absolutely crushing it. We see the hard work he puts in every day, so, it's not unnoticed in here. And so he's already a really good player, but he puts in the hard work, so you see it out there.
When you have that kind of lead, how hard is it to stay as aggressive as you did? It's not easy.
I think it's easier to stay aggressive. Even the Jensen homer, I could throw something in the dirt and see if he swings and misses, but at the end of the day, it was 10-0, and there's no reason to walk anybody with a 10-run lead, He put a good swing on the ball, but I think if we did that 90 times, he'd probably get out. So I think it's easier to stay aggressive just because you have that big of a lead, and you can attack the zone with less stress.
Have you and Ben spoken specifically about Witt on base?
No, just in general. There's plays and stuff that every team has, and as human element kicks in, you have tendencies and you get in a rhythm, and sometimes I think you might, show them that you're going to pick or something. And so Ben and I have just like talked about mix your holds, mix your timing. And so that one I felt like I could see him. And so I took a chance and it worked out.
I was saying just how much more swing and miss you're generating this year. Do you see yourself more and more as a strikeout pitcher?
I think of myself as both, I guess. The sinker obviously is going to generate a lot of ground balls. I think, we look at our game plan and stuff like that, and we have a team that's going to be aggressive like them and the Angels, then, typically you're going to get more strikeouts, especially like mixing both fastballs in there and the off speed. But yeah, if I can go out there and throw 3 pitches and get 3 ground balls, I'd love that.
Do you prefer that over a strikeout?
Go deeper into the game.
How much pride do you take in being able to go that deep into a game?
Yeah, I've said it here before, like our job as a starter is to go as long as possible and get as many outs, and I hadn't been doing that to the standard that I hold myself at, and so today was really nice to go out there and do that.
Guys, I go back to some of the numbers we just saw on the bottom of the screen for Will Warren. 31 strikeouts, 6 walks. Cam Schlittler, if you go back to him, 36 strikeouts, 3 walks. These are 2 homegrown starting pitchers rolling in a rotation circle that maybe not right now, but it's an environment that features Garrett Cole and Max Fried and Carlos Rodon. So for 2 homegrown pitchers, what kind of influence do guys like that, names like I just listed off, have on pitchers like Warren and Schlittler?
I think it's huge. The ability to have bright minds like a Max Fried, Garrett Cole, these are guys that have been able to do it at a high level. To have those guys at the top there and these young guys just kind of following their footsteps. And let's not forget, they also have Andy Pettit that comes in around, and a lot of the guys like talking to him. So Matt Blake has done a tremendous job with these guys, whether it's adding a new pitch or, trying to fix pitch grip with certain situations. But having minds like that, I think, is huge.
Yeah, there's nothing like having veteran players with know-how around when you get to the big leagues. Obviously, the coaching staff has a ton of know-how. You learn from them, but there's something about, kind of rubbing elbows with a teammate that's been there and done that. Obviously, there's 200-inning guys on this staff. So just a beautiful opportunity for Will. He's taking advantage of all that. He's soaking it up like a sponge, and we're seeing the results play out right now.
Well, Warren picks up the win. A fantastic starting pitching performance for the Yankees right-hander. A fantastic day at the plate for Cody Bellinger. A pair of bombs, part of a 3-hit afternoon. When we come back here on the WB Mason postgame, we'll hear from Bellinger. Plenty more to come when you stick with us on YES and the Gotham Sports app.
The Yankees post-game show on YES is presented by your local Tri-State Genesis retailers. Learn more at genesis.com. The Yankees post-game show on YES is brought to you in part by FanDuel Casino. Get your thrill on.
Time now for the FanDuel Casino thrills of the game. We go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Runners on. Yankees putting some heat on Noah Cameron. And Cody Bellinger unleashing right here.
Yeah, it looked like he saw that ball start a little bit in off the plate, knows it's a breaking ball, going to break back over the plate, and he hammers it.
And then essentially putting the game to rest here, Dylan. Another home run from Belly.
First pitch, curveball right there. He sees it up a little bit, down the plate, puts a great swing on it.
And at that point, it made it 10-0 Yankees. Cody Bellinger, 2 homers, 3 hits. He reached base in all 5 plate appearances as the Yankees move on to a 13-4 victory over the Royals. Take a look at this. The Yanks are now 54-18 against Kansas City since 2015. That is the best winning percentage against any opponent in baseball, and they really do damage against the AL Central. They do it against the Orioles as well, but they're now 20-2 in their last 22 series against the Royals over the last several years. So when you see the Royals on the calendar, this is historically for this Yankees franchise, it's one of the bigger rivalries and context, but recently, 2024 ALDS included, it has been all Yanks.
I mean, these numbers are crazy. Are we sure we can't move the Yankees to the AL Central because the Twins are right below them on that list? But it almost looks like a misprint. So obviously the Yankees got to block that out and go for the sweep tomorrow.
And the Yankees win it 13-4 here. They can get that sweep with Ryan Weathers on the mound tomorrow. That's going to do it here for the WB Mason postgame. Don't go anywhere, because coming up, we will have plenty more to cover on Yankees Extra Innings Live. That is next right here on YES and the Gotham Sports app. Welcome in, everybody, to Yankees Extra Innings Live. Justin Shackle, Dylan Betances, Adam Ottavino with you. Yankees win it big time, 13-4 over the Royals. 4 home runs. You had Will Warren go 7 strong innings and striking out 11 on an all-around terrific day at Yankee Stadium. Let's get you to the turning points, brought to you by Montefiore Einstein, the official hospital of the New York Yankees. We go to the bottom of the third, and Dylan Betances, Ahmed Rosario has this infectious energy like we have not seen from a Yankees platoon player in some time.
Something about Mel Rosario. He's a very exciting player, and when he hits it out, the whole stadium knows it, and the dugout as well.
More here in the third. Cody Bellinger, left-on-left crime right here. A home run. First home run for Bellinger in the last 11 games, and he wasn't done. But later in the inning, Ben Rice connects. Beautiful job keeping the hands inside. His 7th of the season as the Yanks go up 5-0. And then on to the bottom of the 6th inning. At this point, it was an 8-0 Yankee lead, and Adam Cody put the bow on this one.
Just great to see from Cody. Boone mentioned in his post-game that Cody had only hit 1 home run in the 2 months, including spring training, coming in today, and then he homers twice in about an hour. But you know, it's just a matter of time with him. He's been at this a long time. You know, he's made adjustments year over year, and now he's hitting righties, he's hitting lefties. He can hit for contact, he can hit for power. So what a valuable piece to have.
Yanks have now won 20 of the last 21 series against the Royals. Again, Bellinger 3 for 4 with a pair of homers. Ahmed Rosario hits the home run. He has 2 hits. And J.C. Escarra with a double, a triple, the first of his career. He drives in 3. We're going to hear from Escarra and Rosario as they met up with reporters in the clubhouse, beginning with the Yankees' backup catcher.
His sinker and mixing in those breaking balls. I think he used both sides of the plate, and when he's in the zone, he's lights out.
When did you feel like he was in that type of a rhythm where he was kind of navigating through fairly easily?
I think when he started getting, first pitch strike, he did it a lot, and when it's an advantage when you start out the count like that.
What's it like for you to call a game when he's on like that?
It's great. It makes my job easy. He had a great one today.
On the offensive side, that first hit originally ruled it a triple and then an error on the fielder. Did you think there was any way that was dropping?
I didn't think it was dropping. I thought it was over the fence, to be honest. I got that pretty well. But not a good day to hit towards center field today at Yankee Stadium. But I'm glad I was able to, hit some balls hard forward.
What did you think about the offense overall today, putting up 14 runs?
It was great. We took advantage of walks, not just the big hits. The homers, obviously are great. But we took advantage of the walks, the extra bases, and that shows what we could do.
You later doubled and a triple as well. Just how have you been able to stay kind of locked in at the plate with limited opportunity there?
Yeah, it's just being ready, taking lots of swings every single day. When no one's watching, seeing a lot of machines, seeing a lot of trajectory, staying ready any way possible.
Afternoon like this validating for you on both sides of the ball?
Yeah, it's great. It's great to catch well and to get some knocks in and ultimately help the team win.
Not to put pressure on yourself when you do get the chance?
Yeah, as human, we all kind of, put pressure on ourselves at times, especially, if we dig ourselves in a hole. But, I've been, doing pretty well, and, they were going to start falling at some point.
And Matt, what's it like to be a part of an offense when you put up 13 runs and it seems like you're getting contributions 1 through 9 for the most part?
¿Cómo se siente ver ser parte de una ofensiva así, que anota 13 carreras, está en el medio de eso y contribuye?
Mira, se siente bastante bien. Yo sé que anteriormente tuvimos unos juegos un poquito incómodos. Al ver que los muchachos despertaron el día de hoy, uno se siente bastante feliz.
Yeah, it feels really good, understanding that we had a couple games offensively where we struggle a little bit, and to see the guys wake up today and put that show feels good.
You started it there in that third inning with the 2-run shot. Just what was your approach against Cameron?
Y tú empezaste, ¿verdad? La fiesta de hoy, ese jonrón en el segundo inning, ¿cuál era tu mentalidad, lo que querías hacer en ese momento?
En ese momento yo solamente estaba tratando de buscar un picheo arriba, tú sabes, tratar de poner la bola en los jardines, ya que teníamos gente en tercera. So, yo solamente traté de buscar un picheo elevado.
Yeah. So looking for a pitch up in the zone, understanding we have a runner there at third base, so something that I could drive out to the outfield. That was really it, yeah.
Well, Rosario now with 3 home runs on this season, and I tell you what, it's been a short season, but it feels like you can pinpoint exactly where those 3 home runs were hit. They've been meaningful. Today, it starts off that big third inning for the Yankees in which they score 5 runs. We see the energy after the swing. We see the impact and him rewarding Aaron Boone for putting up in the leadoff spot against a lefty. What do the Yankees have in Amed Rosario on the bench?
Well, Amed Rosario is an electrifying player, somebody that's always excited. No matter if he's playing or not, he's the first guy out of the dugout to cheer for his team. And it's finally nice to see him get rewarded. When he's playing well, they keep putting him in the lineup. And he's contributing in many ways to help the team win.
I know you were teammates with him with the Mets. He was at a younger and much different stage of his career. But did he bring all those types of qualities to the team back then?
Yeah, he's always been an uplifting guy in the clubhouse, somebody that likes to have fun. And, obviously with the Mets, he was a highly touted prospect. He's bounced around a little bit, but he's played with great organizations. Obviously, went to the Dodgers for a little bit, played with the Guardians, if I'm not mistaken, and now here with the Yankees. He's produced last year since he's been here. They re-signed him, and he's, showing Cashman's signing was right.
Well, he had a pair of hits here this afternoon, started him up in that third inning, and the Yankees win it 13-4 against the Royals. We'll take another break here on Yankees Extra Innings Live. More reaction as the Yankees win a series. They go 2 for 2. They'll go for the sweep tomorrow at the stadium. Well, tonight on Yes, we've got live minor league baseball as the AA Somerset Patriots take on the Reading Fightin' Phils. You can watch the action tonight at 6 o'clock on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. Before the game, Somerset Patriots got some early BP, and they did it against Carlos Rodon. Down in Somerset, New Jersey, Rodon threw 58 pitches today in a 4-up live. So that's a live BP session, as you see. He went to the dugout, went back to the mound 4 separate times. And with those 58 pitches, Aaron Boone maintains that Carlos Rodon's going to make his way back before Garrett Cole. Now, a viewer might say, hey, wait, Garrett Cole was in a rehab game last night. So, Adam, break this down for us. If Rodon is at this stage, we saw Cole in a physical rehab game. Why do you think Rodon could be ahead in Cole in the rehab process?
Carlos was just further along. He was pitching spring training games. He was trending the right direction. Obviously, Garrett's coming off of a major surgery. So I think that's probably just the nuance right there. I actually think it might end up being a little close. But, yeah, Carlos should be a little further along. His arm was further along before the hamstring kind of acted up.
So for me, I was going to say, the control environment, that's what you see there, because obviously he tweaked his hamstring. So you want to make sure that he feels good. But he's way ahead of Cole in that regard. Like, he didn't come off a major surgery, like Otto said. So he should be back hopefully in two or three more starts.
Now, was that the toughest test of the day for those hitters down there? And they got a game to play, and it's going to be on Yes, no less. But, that was Carlos Rodon on the mound.
I think it's kind of nice for those guys. They get to see a live arm before they have to go play a game with statistics involved. So it's nice, anytime you get to face a pitcher that's probably better than the pitcher you're going to face in the game, it's kind of like holding the donut on the bat and then you take it off and you swing a lighter bat. So it's the same type of effect there, I think.
So make sure you catch up with the Patriots later tonight at 6 o'clock here on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. Well, Will Warren pitched 7 effective innings, had 11 strikeouts. Tomorrow, Ryan Weathers we'll try and close the show as the Yankees go for the sweep of the Royals in the Bronx. We'll preview tomorrow's matchup next. Unstoppables brought to you by Nissan. The matchup for tomorrow as the Yankees go for the sweep. Ryan Weathers against Cole Reagans. Weathers in his last start on Tuesday against the Angels gave up 3 consecutive home runs in the top of the first inning. Aaron Boone paraphrasing, he said you see all the things that you get excited about with Weathers, but the lack of command is preventing the success right now. We also saw some success following those 3 straight home runs, but overall, what needs to click in your mind for Ryan Weathers?
For me, he just got to be able to use his fastballs on both sides of the plate. Obviously, you look at last start, he had some negatives with the home runs, but then you look at 10 strikeouts, so the stuff is there. Last time he had a day game, he went 8 innings, so tomorrow's a day game. Hopefully, we get something close to that.
And then Noah Cameron pitching today. Cole Reagans going tomorrow, another lefty for this Yankee lineup. How different of a left-hander does he profile compared to Noah Cameron?
They have a similar pitch mix, but Cole Reagans is an ace when he's righty. He's got more velocity. You know, he's more in the mid 90s, whereas Cameron was operating in the low 90s today. I do think the game plan's the same. Make him throw it over the plate. You know, he hasn't exactly been his usual self to open the season. I don't think he's been quite as electric. Yankees need to take advantage of that.
Well, the Yankees get 4 home runs from their offense today, including a pair from Cody Bellinger and 7 strong innings from Will Warren. They take it 13-4 against the Royals. That's going to wrap up this edition of Yankees Extra Innings Live. The Yankees take down KC, get the series win, and tomorrow they'll go for the sweep. Coverage begins at 1 o'clock with the pregame. First pitch scheduled for 1:35 on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. Along with Della Betances and Adam Ottavino, I'm Justin Shackle. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday, everybody.